yourself? How you doing? Not too bad. Got to work at 4:30 this morning. Got all our mowing done, but I got to go back this afternoon and water. As it's gonna be like 97 today. Other than that, I'm doing good. How about yourself? All right, guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of fishing at Willow. I just mainly put the stream up too to remind people. Do not forget if you guys are planning on playing in the trout thing. The only bad thing I think about this one, if you do make, or at least if you live in America and celebrate the 4th of July, keynote, if you do make the semifinals, obviously it's on the 4th of July, so that's not ideal. Not ideal if you make the semis there, depending on what you got going. But don't forget to sign up for that. All right, guys, I'm going to do a little bit of spotting, and then we'll see how it goes. I don't think I really have much else to do. What's the comps? Anything fun? Oh, hell no. No on that. Big no on that. Don't know. I don't know yet, Loris. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if I get any spawns. I'm going to try to go catch a few carp. See if we can catch a few carp for fun. And go from there. But, yeah, I'm not playing that. Finally got you some rain. Well, it cooled us off briefly, but now it's going to be like a sauna here. We got some rain over the weekend. Now it's going to be really hot and humid here. Sometimes it makes it worse. Sometimes it makes it worse. All right, hold on. Let me see. How much room do I got? Oh, 40. How is that almost 100 degrees in Fahrenheit? I always get confused on Celsius. All right, I might put my tournament hat on tomorrow, though. We'll see how it goes. Let me see. How much? I got room for 9 baits. Keeping that on there, so I need 9 baits. Oh, no, I'm in metric. 106. Holy cow. Yeah, that's hot. Yeah, that's way too hot. Hold on a second. Let me put her. Alright, we'll bring that. Let's fill these reels up. Still at work? Well, I got my entire staff there this morning at 4:30, Loris, just to get ahead of the heat. But several of us have to go back in and water hot spots today. We try to get all our heavy stuff done in the morning when it's this hot. I feel sorry for anybody that gets stuck working out in these heat waves. It's bad. I think it's been bad in Europe, and it's getting ready to be bad. It's bad in the central part of the United States, and it's moving east. So it's going to be a pretty good heat dome, they're saying, for 7 or 8 days. All right, I need a bunch of baits. I have no boilies in here, do I? No, I don't. No boilies. Oh, no. Is 20 millimeters the bigger ones? How does that pop up? Let's bring 20 of those. Oh, those are sinking. I don't really like fish smell. I'll bring one. Definitely bringing plum. Are those the bigger ones? Yeah, bigger ones. Shellfish maybe, and tiger nut. 20 millimeter is the big. Okay, yeah, I get lost on the. I'm wondering my way around the metric on the grams and stuff, but I still haven't figured out all this stuff. All right, I think that's what we'll experiment with. At least that's what I'm missing one. Oh, strawberry maybe. Strawberry is usually one I like. Do I have strawberry? Do I not have strawberry? What the hell? I can't be out of strawberry, bro. There we go. 500 strawberry. Holy. Alright, let's do a chocolate, banana, plum, and the strawberry. Guess I could have looked at the peaks. Oh, day 2 sunny. Day too sunny. I feel like I'm forgetting something. What do I got here? Looks like we could use a little bigger of a rain. Ooh, I'm out of carp rattle too. Holy cow, man. CSL we got. Giant Octo, I think we got. X Flavor. Particles for days. Hey T, what's up, buddy? Alright. That ought to get us enough for a while. Let's go. Just to be safe. Do I got a net? I got a net. How big is that net? That's not a very... Oh yeah, that's a big net. Got a rod stand? Or we're all held up? Or we should be good. Alright. We'll carp fish for a while. Could be boring, guys. Spot out, nothing happens, or spot out and get a small one. Or spot out and get a big one. Who knows? Who knows? I don't know about going into Wolf's room. She's good at killing the water, though. Wolf will kill Willow Lake in a heartbeat, she said. Melting like ice cream. Yeah, it's hot here, too. We got, not to keep repeating myself, we went to work at 4:30 a.m. this morning. It's so hot here. Just to try to get as much of it done as we could before it got hot. Okay, let's still do rain. Start at one and do 4 different spots and then adjust from there. Go with... Try 3,600. The little testing that I did, it did seem... I was able to do all right on a 3,600 versus a 4,500 gram mix, but I can try both. I don't know. I kind of like this jacket. I'm so used to that. I'm so used to that flannel. Fishing with that flannel. I kind of like the difference of my avatar's arm there. Too bad I didn't hold more tackle though. Too busy catching all them cars. Oh, I'm liable to kill the water too, Wolf. I have good carp sessions and bad carp sessions, probably like everybody else. So. This could be a good one, bad one, or in between. Who knows? That's fishing. I have noticed sometimes I'll spot and I'll get 1 carp only, at least on bigger hooks. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3. Sometimes you can spot out and get a 75 or 105. Hell, I don't know. It's definitely sporadic. I tried telling you, but you got to live and learn on your own. That's why I was hesitant even putting that video up to begin with, because I knew people were going to do that, and I don't want them messing me back. Road, I spent my bait coins. That's where Like I said, I didn't go crazy with the feeders. I just used what I had from like an old that golden deluxe pack or whatever I'd bought. But yeah, Sober and I did a little bit of testing on it, but it seems expensive. But to me, it just felt like the particles at least got them bigger. At least it felt that way. But again, always experiment on your own. Spend 2 hours spotting generics and then do 2 hours with golden particles on or whatever you want to do. But yeah, it does get expensive. I even bought a couple, and those things were expensive. Golly. I bought one pack of golden plum bullies. I think it was like 40 Bitcoins for 20 of them or something silly. Needless to say, I used 3 of them. I'm like, nope, I'll keep them for a tournament or something. And if you guys don't like spotting, it's probably not the stream for you guys. A lot of boring just spotting and then hoping for a fish or two. But that's how oversized it is. Spot and see if something happens. Sometimes it won't. Sometimes you just spend more time spotting than you do catching. That's for sure. Yeah, and it could be. It could be. Like I said, there's still a lot yet to discover. Well, and I think as well, I think the golden aromas might get a faster bite, but I can't swear to it. But the testing that I did, it felt like the golden particles did get a little bigger of a fish. Not all the time. But like I said, I put about 11 or 12 hours in that 3-week period before I put any of the videos up. So just 11 hours of testing, obviously, on a whole new reworked system. That's just a small dose. So unless there's a guy that has time to spot 12 hours a day, I do not. That, and I think I would get bored if I spotted 12 hours a day. Alright, let's see if we strike out. Could get 1 or 2 species. We could get nothing but swim-offs. We could get a big one and a small one. We could get, who knows. Wolf could have already spotted this spot and killed the water. That's also possible. How big of hooks you been trying, Wolf? I think for me, I like 16 to 18.0, but 17.0 seems about the best. My biggest ones have all came off 17.0. That could be just me throwing them out more than I do any of the other ones, but who knows if there's not a little better of a hook size per peak and that sort of thing, too. Oh, you haven't been here yet, but watch out for the Cayman bridges. All right. I found a weird little spot that I've been spotting that I'll rotate to it at some point. There's a little spot, a little deep spot over here I've been playing with. I got 105 last week over here. In this little spot right here. This little bitty spot right there that I never really spotted before. Off a cave lake. You know what's weird is I don't see my carp really spawn too much. Is that because I don't have a rod in my hand? I should have brought 5 rods. I don't know why I never do that. Why didn't you bring 5 rods, Rod? I gotta look and see if I got 5. I think I do. You like the trophy? I haven't messed with that one much. I've noticed sometimes on the 17Os that's what happens, and I'm wondering if like if you get your leather and mirror out, then downsize the 15O to see if you can pick up the ghost, the grass, or the common. I've got a couple big ones on the 17Os, but it feels like when you spot with the bigger hooks, you're basically waiting for leather and mirror, and then occasionally you'll get the other ones. At least out of the little testing I've done. And sometimes you just won't get anything. I don't even know if I got that. If I can get a mirror leather, I might try 15Os on the other ones. Could this be a day of swim offs too? Finally got one. My guess would be it'd be a leather or mirror, but I don't know. Could be small, could be big. Feels small, but I can't really tell. Oh, I got another fish on. Get in here, bro. The bigger one's on the other line, probably. Come on, bro. Get in here. New PB on a leather carp. Holy, how big is that, Wolf? Is that a big leather? It's gotta be. It's my biggest one. Oh god, which one of these fish are bigger? Oh no, which one's bigger? Ah, this one feels bigger on the right? 98.7, that's a big one. Yeah, that's my PB. Oh man, that one got off. I bet this one was probably bigger. Let's see here, fellas. What is LE? That's my PB. That was shocking. Will it not pull up? Oh, come on, bro. How do I? Oh my god. Let's go here. Yeah, it's probably not much bigger than the one I had before. It'd be nice if this thing worked, actually. Come on, bro. Let's scroll all the way down. Okay, let me try one more time. I'm just going to type in car for carp. Will that work? Good grief, bro. All right. It's number 5. It's number 5. And what was my mirror? 48. I'm still holding there. There's only been 206 pounders caught. All right, well that's about. Let me see something. I want to test something. Hold on, guys. Just bear with me. I'm gonna go down to 15 ounce now and see if a ghost or grass comes behind it before my mix wears off. On a side note, I've said this 1,000 times in the last few videos that I've made. Always experiment on your own. You're gonna find, as you can see, this is a 3,600 gram mix. It's a little faster. I think in the videos I might have put up a 4,500. The only difference is it's heavier, but since I just got my PB leather on a smaller mix, that does save you time. Entirely up to you guys what the hell you want to do. But I know there's still people struggling, but you guys just seen me do that live. I just caught my PB leather carp after spotting for probably 5 years. You guys just watched me do that live. So if anybody's wanting to copy my mix, there you go. Copy and paste. Copy and paste. If you want to be experimentative, switch stuff out, guys. But you have to put the time in. You have to put the time in. What'd she say that? I don't think I got those with me. What? What are those? I got a trophy 12. I wonder if that's in my. That might be in my home. Yeah, I don't have any. I'd have to look. Let's save that. All right, I'm gonna give it about 4 or 5 minutes, and we'll just see if let's see if a common or a ghost or something comes in behind it. Oh, what came in behind it? Well, it felt small. How small is it? I see, yeah, not very big. 15, what is that? 29, what was that, like 65? Should I try a bigger one? I don't know why I would. I don't know why I would. But there's the main two I've been running, guys. There's the main two I've been running. And there's my top secret put in the feeder mix. I'm just going to run a 36 again. Okay, is this a ghost or grass or a doppelganger? Doesn't feel anything special. Looks like an extra mirror or something. What is that? Another baby mirror behind it. Giving it 2 more minutes, I'm out of here. Spawn, bro. Alright, on that spot, I got my PB leather with 17.0. Just a mediocre mirror, 17.0. And then a 15.0 brought me a standard oversized, I would say, for a common. And then just that. So we still only got the leather and the mirror. But let's go on to the next spot. I'm going to go try down here. And rinse and repeat. Exciting. And I also did get 105 here. This didn't mark it. Right there in a steep little spot. Don't mean I will now, but that's fishing. Could spot out and get a small one. On the same mix, I just got my PB leather on. Still RNG. It very well could be, Wolf. They think they're breaking out the old musket. We are not at war anymore, Carp. We're all friendly. It also makes me wonder if you probably couldn't put together like a 3,000 gram mix, to be honest. Make it that much quicker, but who knows. You have to go and mess with it. And it all depends on what you're doing with it as well, too. In other words, it's a big difference playing Jolly Carp and only having one rod versus having a rod stand where you can sit and wait it out. So who knows? Who knows? All right. Nope. It's 17. Yeah, and that's what happens to me too. Yeah, that's what happens to me too. It's probably going to happen here at some point. I got a 99, almost a 99 pound leather there, or 98.7, whatever the hell it was. At any given spot, I've noticed the same thing. I don't think... I've also noticed... No, I didn't do a bunch of 16-0s and 17-0s last time before they took the oversized away either. A boat for the mix. I think we've all wanted that. Something. It would change the competitive scene quite a bit, though. Especially if they made it for money. Not trying to give them any ideas, but... Imagine if it was $5 for a little RC boat or whatever the hell they're called. Or I guess in this day and age, maybe they could make a drone. Imagine if we had a spot drone. You could just drone it in. Just fly over your spot. We're living in that era. Fishing Planet, give us some spotting drones. Maybe that new paddle boat they're going to drop, they'll let us take it to Willow and we'll have a little compartment we can dump in our spot mix. Okay, that's only an 88 pounder. What's behind it? Is it the leather? Fighting like a good one, but I've had that happen before too. Another decent leather. Alright, hold on a second. Let's downsize hooks again. Well, maybe not. What is this? Don't feel very big. big is that? Not horrible. Alright, let's go back to 15 O's and see if we can get a grass or a ghost. Briefly. Okay, 15-0, what is it, a trophy maybe? Doesn't feel very big. We did get the grass coming behind it though on a 15-0. So the only thing left is a ghost. I'm only going to give it a minute and a half. I think. What did we get? Yeah, that's right. Got that one, that one, that one, and that one. So we got 4. 3 on a 17 and 1 on 15. Come on, Ghost Cart. I seem to get those the last. I wonder if it's my bait combo. Let me try something. I'll take this off briefly. Shellfish. Try one shellfish. Should we try 2 shellfish? It is weird I don't pick up the ghost a lot. But I think the leather and mirror for me are the most fun. One more minute. I don't think the ghost is going to show. Nope. Let's get out of here. Alright, back to Plum. Where's Plum? Give me my Plum. Alright, back to 17 O's. Okay, pretty sure I had my spot rod. I did. I do like this spot, but I have been blanked in this spot too. Alright, we haven't been blanked yet, but this is very possible. I figure it, you got really lucky if you can get 4 spots from, let's say, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. without getting blanked. At least on big hooks. I think if you threw 14 O's out, that's going to be hard to get blanked. Does the mix work well? Yeah, I've got a couple. I put a bunch of videos up on it, but I figured I'd come live streaming to see if I can have any luck or not. But yeah, not saying I have the best mix. I put up a bunch of stuff so people can make their own mixes. I think there's something special about having your own mix, but maybe that's just me. A good mix to farm XP. Hold on. This mix is weird. Hold on. This one here. I would watch how to optimize video that I put up just so you know the math. But the simple part of it is it's hard to explain, but hold on. Let me try and explain it. So basically in this number here, a lot of people, this is probably the best thing I can teach you is no matter what size mix you're going to make, you want to divide this number in grams so it's more accurate so you can optimize it. So this equals up to 75% if you do the math on that. And then the other 10%, I know it sounds confusing, comes up with these 3 numbers. And then the bottom is 15% if you see that. So what you're going to want to do is figure out how big a mix you're going to want to throw out. With that being said, I know this is 1800, so I know 1800 divided by 5 to get the particles is this 360. So I can divvy those out in those 3. Or if you wanted to do just 2 particles, then you know it's 180 grams. But that's the keynote I can give you. And then from there, just kind of figure it out. If you just want a generic one that I use this is done in Imperial though. There's another generic one that I used to use just for farming and stuff, but that's a good mix. with no golden particles in it, but that's still a good mix. This is basically the same mix. I just changed stuff out a little bit. So that's more optimized. As you can see, the numbers all add up. Yes, it works at night. It usually works in the rain as well. That's why I put up a long time ago. Yeah, my little thinner carp mix is a nice generic starter mix. This one here is a little more confusing, but I just wanted to, like I said, I did that optimizing thing me and my buddy Sober figured out a long time ago just to create the formula. I'm not saying either if you don't optimize it. To me, it'd be like it'd be like watering down your whiskey. I don't know why you wouldn't want this. If you can get the max up to 15%, if you see that 5%, 5%, 5%, 15%, you add all these up, 3.3 times 3 is almost at 10%, so that's fully balanced. And then you got 75. So 75 obviously plus 10 is 85, plus the remaining 15 gives you 100%. I think that's the spot that, even for the longest time, I didn't understand that. Probably for years I didn't understand that part. From there, I would encourage you to always just test your own stuff. And know that you're going to have ups and downs. Sometimes you'll have a good farming session. Sometimes if you're going for leaderboard fish, you can go out there and, just like I can at any given moment, and catch smaller ones than I wanted to, that's for sure. Caught 3 black marlin over. Oh, nice. Good. You know, Raptor, I used to do that for perch, the Nile perch, for the longest time, and it took me forever to finally get a 451 pounder. And again, just showing you this on these mirror, there's only been 2 106 pounders caught on PlayStation an entire time, the new oversized thing. And I was fortunate enough to have one of them. So, but I've got several 105s. I think, in fact, I got the biggest mirror again last week. And hopefully, maybe with this stream, there's only a few days left, but hopefully with this stream, somebody can knock me down. Knock me down. Use the same mix I did and everything. You guys just seen me use it. I know that pros here, whenever I'd figure this out and was messing with it, I showed him, and it took him a while before he started catching them. And I think he relayed the information to Dave as well, to the best of my knowledge. So we'll see. Everybody test out their own stuff and figure it out from there. And again, test your generics all you want. Don't use any golden particles in this. See if you can get up there. Have I spotted for tame? Not lately, but I'll show you my mix. I put all this stuff up in a video, guys. And the other reason I'm doing this stream is I had a buddy even in my club that was struggling to catch a big carp. And then when he sent his mix in, he didn't even optimize it. I'm not saying that's the end of the world if you don't optimize it, but if you're following along with what I'm saying, since it tells you can get up to 15% based off of your whatever you start with here, this first number totaling 1,800, I don't know why you would not want to maximize that out or balance it, so to speak. There's the tame mix that I've been using. I think you could probably even take this one down to 3,600. I just haven't messed with it. But Travis, if you need one, you can copy this one in metric. I know it works. Oh, nice. That was a hell of a pike, 42 pounder. You can copy that one, Travis. And like I said, you can do the same thing and then just do the math on it. The most important part is any of the videos that I put up, in my opinion, was that optimizing, because that takes the guesswork out of knowing how much of this stuff you need to put in. So let's say you're wanting to make a 3,000 gram mix, then simply do the math. Let me see if I can find a 2700. What is that? I got a 20. Okay, perfect example. Here's a 2,700 mix. I don't even remember what I was doing with this. But as you can see, there's 2,700 grams in that. The first number is 1,350. So I took the 1,350 to get this here, to get 2,700. See, instead of 1,850, I divided that. That's the key thing to know. But it's the same principle. See, 5%, 5%, 5%. Or if you don't want the golden in there and you want to run generics and you don't want to spend big coins, then simply put 7.5% here and 7.5% here. See what I'm saying? That's the most simple part of it all. From there, you guys just need to experiment on your own. I keep saying that, but that's what you got to do. And know that you're going to have ups and downs. I don't always catch 105 and 106 pound carp, guys. But anyway, my clubmate had set it up in our group chat, and I looked at his thing, and he hadn't even optimized it. It was imbalanced. And again, you could have it perfectly optimized and perfectly matched up on any weather pattern, and you just get smaller fish. That's fishing. Yeah, I had a video of mine, Travis. Yeah, I got a 147 pounder. Can you tell you why? Why what? Hold on, I missed what you said, buddy. I got it on the monster fish lure tame and con. It didn't register the board. Oh, were you playing that? Hold on, guys. Let me try to help you. Let me look, bro. Hold on. I don't know if that one's been on in a while. I think, make sure that your lures count. I think there was an oddity at one time that vampire mouse didn't count in that. You saying you caught it on the water vole? Let me look. Okay, that's why. The guy that was just asking that, make sure you guys go over and look at your details, because the vampire mouse didn't used to count either. So if you look over here on your details, I don't see the water vole, if that's what you're referring to, that monster mission one. So if that fish didn't count, sometimes they have those weird things, and if you didn't read it. Well, yes, it would make sense because you can use go on two conversations in one. The Long Asia for sure. As soon as I get a zero, and I'm gotten to the point where I might just spot at start and then go for my zero just to see if I can get my kicker first, Travis, or anybody that cares about that one. But yeah, that one's going to evolve to that way. So you're going to have to learn how to mess with it. But going back to your question here, the water vole doesn't count. So, but yeah, guys, the simple math on this, again, I hate to keep drilling this, but that's the most important part. So if you're following along with what I'm saying, so you take your 1350 to get your aromas, you need to divide that by 7.5, and then that'll give you three numbers that you can go through. Or simply, in this case, since it's a 180, so that'd be 60 per. If you wanted to do two aromas, then you're going to want to do 90. So 90 of this and 90 of that, or vice versa. It's just that simple. From there, you just got to experiment, guys. Like I said, I don't always just catch the biggest fish. In other words, I could do this for 2 hours a day and maybe not even get a 100 pounder. I don't know. Happens to me too, guys. Oh, you know, I didn't do it as much as, I only did it enough to put the clip together, but I do know that Sober was saying, I think 8.0 or 9.0 and a shad. I haven't played with it enough to tell you. The one I got was on bait. Okay, that's a big one. What is that one? Is that 104? I'm going to clip it. You guys just watch me do that. And the reason I'm saying this too is because there's been people talking like somehow I'm hiding stuff. I literally put up all this stuff in the videos, guys. So I'll put up another clip. And then from there, you guys got to test this stuff for yourself. In other words, I don't have enough time in the day, guys. Like this morning, I had to work 4:30 to 9:30 or whatever, and I got to go back this afternoon. I work 7 days a week as well right now. Okay, and then I got a puny uni behind it. Hold on, let me save that. How big is that in 47? Is that a 104? Alright, where's my mathematicians at? I'm in metric. I think it's a 104. Okay, 103.6. We'll take it. There's a 103. 47 kilo. Not a bad fish. We already got a 100 pounder. Got a 100 pounder on my third spot. There you go, guys. $103, nice. We'll take it. Now I should probably downsize again. Or do I wait the leather? Let me put 2 hooks. I want to see something. Hold on a second, guys. It's so weird that I'm always confused why I never get a ghost carp. You guys think it's the hook size or the bait or both? This makes me wonder that. Let me try something. I need to get that trophy hook. I don't know how the hell I don't have that. Alright, let's do 2 shellfish and just see. Oh, the spot's still active. It seems like I only get the leather in the car or the leather in the mirror when I'm doing it this way. Occasionally I'll get the common, but if you're going for just the leather in the mirror, it's a good way to do it because you get your leather and mirror out, then just go to the next spot. It's depending on how much patience level you have. And then what I've asked people to do before when I put those videos up, do the same thing that I'm doing now, but just go and do it with your generics. So you did, since this is, what is that, 360? So do 180 without the golden in it on any mix that you're trying to do if you're doing a size that's 3600. Do I still like trophy whiskers? Sometimes. When I get bites. When I get catfish to spawn, I like trophy whiskers. Oh, I've got 0 in that before, T. I've got 0 scoring fish in that. In fact, one time I streamed it and didn't catch a single catfish the whole hour. Depends on what lake you get, buddy. But just in closing there, you gotta, like I said, if you want to try just generics, then take out the golden hemp here and simply put 180 grams of oil pea cake and 180 grams of regular hemp corn. Try it generic with nothing else in it. But you guys can see visually what I just did. I got a 103 pounder and I've got a 98 pounder and I've been streaming for less than an hour. And what I've been doing, just because I enjoy carp fishing, I might do once a week, I might spend an hour and a half, 2 hours spotting. And that's all I do. Now this winter, if I go and actually target something for 3 or 4 or 5 hours at a time, maybe I'll get a really big one. I don't know. No, that one, I don't know. That one pissed me off. Well, like I said, Travis, I don't know. They've just reworked this, so it's still early on, but I'm just saying I've got, just doing what I'm doing, I've got the biggest mirror carp in 3 out of the 5 weeks or however long it's been going. And I've got the second biggest one, but like I said, I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm showing you guys exactly what I'm doing, but sometimes it'll hit, sometimes it won't. Okay, I did get a ghost carp. It wasn't massive, but I did get a shellfish on a 15. Finally got one. I wonder if that leather will come back. Does that mix you're using on days other than Sunday last time I looked? Well, hold on. 2 things in one, Raptor. If you got a buddy that you play with, and let's say, I've said this before, it's a cool part of the game. Let's say this one's not bad for us, but I know exactly what you're talking about. You'll come into this damn lake, but yes, to answer 2 questions, yes, I can still get this to work at night on the rainy days. It's just a lot faster on the sunny days. You can still get it to work, the mix I'm using, on those days, night days, whatever. But if you're specifically wanting to do a sunny day, a quick workaround, if you have a buddy Raptor and you're just wanting to grind some carp, just go to your customs. I've said this before, and it doesn't cost you anything. Just go to advanced, go to Weeping Willow, set it for let's say I'll just put up a fictitious one. Let's say you're wanting a spot for an hour for you and your buddy. It's a cool way to do it. Just put up an hour. Let's for spot time, let's say 65 minutes. Put that up. Come over here. Unequip that. And then let's say you're wanting to go for mirror and leather or whatever the hell you're wanting to do. Let's just say we're just going to go for our biggest mirror. Set it up like that, and the cool part of it is, instead of advancing your days over and over and over and wasting your game credits, now maybe one day they'll take this away after me saying this, but right there, okay, let's say you're wanting to do a sunny peak, boom, look how quick that is. And then obviously just start it. And then if you want the rod stands in or whatever you're wanting to do. But that's a good workaround of that, because what's going to happen is you'll get stuck on, you get those days all the time. But if not, just, and if you want a particular peak you want to practice on, do that. As long as you got a buddy to join, you know. What I used to call farming templates. That's what I used to call them, farming templates. If you have a buddy that's wanting to farm and you want to fish a particular peak for anything, that would be my suggestion. I used to do it with buddies and pick particular peaks that I liked for Nile perch, or even trophy shark. If you want to go for trophy shark, you can do the same thing. Find the peak that you like. Find the peak that you like and just do farm that way. Or even leaderboard fish, to be honest. If you like particular peaks that you know that are fast, and let's say as much as you like ocean fishing, you could do the same thing, Raptor. Just find the particular peak, or even fishing together. What's up with golden versus regular? I've been trying to explain that. You can rewind that. I don't want to keep going over it. You'll have to, I did this stream for that specific reason. You guys need to test it yourself. I did do a bunch of testing for about 3 weeks, 11 hours worth when I put those clips up in that last video on the golden, because the time before they took the oversized away, it seemed like you were getting a breacher like the 46.9 pound carp and whatever. I think they nerfed that part of it, but to me, as the testing that I've done, which is around 11 hours, guys, is, did you test it too? Did it seem like for me, it seemed like I would do 4 or 5 spots, and then I would come back the same exact peak, and it seemed like I was getting a little bit better fish with just a little bit of the golden in there. But which would make sense because they sell it for bait coins. It's kind of like a bait coin lure to me, but I don't know. No difference for you? Well, like I said, keep casting. I told you guys to try it on your own. If it doesn't seem to help you, then I just got my PB leather on it. Like I said, it's early on. Test it. If you don't want to spend your bait coins, don't. Guide said, I don't know. I think it's closer to 20, Travis. And I have tried to somewhat test it again. Like I said, guys, I've spotted for, this will probably be my 12th hour since this thing started. I put 12 hours into it. I haven't tried too much of the golden boilies. And like I said, don't go broke, guys. I don't even, like, I think Wolf was messing with it too. And that's why I was scared to put that video up, because I'm not saying that you can't catch it without it. But to me, and like I said, pros went and tested it, and it took him a little while, and it seems like it was better because he even left a comment on my channel. But yeah, I wouldn't go crazy with. I mean, look at that. That's 27 bait coins. But just from the testing I did, it seemed like the particles seem to help the most. But they don't have them in here. But to each their own. But I'm not, like I said, don't sit and waste all your bait coins on my account. I just said do a small sample size with it. But Harold, just to prove my point, I had a guy in my club didn't even mix the stuff together right. And then as soon as I showed him my exact mix, even though I'd put it up, he went and got a 104 pounder the other day, which is he'd never had a 100 pounder. So another reason I'm doing the stream. But you guys test it on your own. I'm not saying 100% one thing's better than the other. You guys, I'm only one person. So you guys have to test all that stuff out for yourself. I'm just telling you that's the trend that it seemed like for me, Harold. Out of the testing I did for around 11 hours, now 12 hours, I guess I can come right back in and see if I can get I've got a 103 pounder and my PB leather with golden particles streamed live. No tricks and sleight of hand tricks or anything. And I very well could have just kept the information to myself and seen if it played out like that. But my assumption is that's why when everything got so toxic on the spotting before, that's probably why they took it away. Because everybody was complaining. Yeah, and you've got your PB too. You know, like I said, well, I said there's only, I guarantee you, this guy here knows. Hold on. I guarantee you, Anda knows, and I know for sure. Well, yeah, yes, and I'll miss too, JL. That's the same thing. But I guarantee you, Vegetta's throwing. But like I said, when I told that to pros, I know he'd mentioned it to Dave, and I don't know how much. Dave's probably going to do a follow-up video or something on maybe generics versus something. Who knows? But I can tell you, this guy for a fact, 100% understands that he's probably using golden particles. For sure, Vegeta is. Pros, I know is, because we went back and forth, and I'd messaged him a bunch of stuff with screenshots showing him exactly what I was doing. And he got up there with the testing that he did. And we know for sure Toja is. I'm not saying there's not one guy up here somewhere that doesn't have just a generic mix somewhere. But it just, if you look at the leaderboards, it seems to be going that way. But like I said, Harold, if you get time, spot for 4 hours. If you got a whole day off, spot for 4 hours with generic, write it all down, and then spot 4 hours with whatever. Okay. Well, Harold, I don't think the game works like that to start, Harold. Do you always get 450-pound perch? It's still RNG. That's what Wolf was saying. That, or maybe I'm just lucky. But they're still going to have the RNG factor. Hold on, I'm going to go try that other spot. Not there. Where is that spot? All right, I'm going to try this spot. This kind of hit and miss, but I did get that 105 over here. This is a weird spot. All right, hold on. In other words, for what it's worth to you guys that are watching, I did about 12 hours of this now. That's what I did. So anybody that's put in 50, 60, 70 hours, and I wouldn't doubt more, then that is entirely up to you what you guys want to do with it. If you notice, I'm a cheapskate, and I still have 9,500 Bitcoins. And to me, I would rather just spend I want to say, I'd have to do the math on it. I want to say out of 3 Bitcoins per particles, and I'm only using golden hemp corn. That's all I use. I want to say, at least at the size I'm using right now, you could probably get 4 spots for 3 Bitcoins. Oh, I've earned all those. Between Bitcoin farming on the St. Patty's Day, that one lucky run I had in the Bass World Tour finally. Alright, we'll go again. Alright, hold on. How many people's been spotting right now? Okay, yeah, I already got since this stream started and this reset last night, I've already got the biggest mirror. Hopefully somebody beats that. Because quite frankly, guys, it's just a video game. Sometimes I think the community somewhat gets toxic for whatever reason on certain things, and I don't know why it has to be like that. We're all just playing for pixels, basically. Oh yeah, like I said, you guys just seen the exact mix that I'm using. Now, again, on that video, I even said something. I was working on a 3,600 gram. If you rewatch that golden mix video, I think I was doing something this big, but if you guys can see, why not save the time for me? And that's basically just enhancing my thunder carp. There's my thunder carp that's not even optimized. So it's 3,533 grams, right? So what I did was take out the catfish destroyer, if you notice. And then here, this was just my generic thunder carp that was so popular. Whether you're farming or playing jolly carp or anything, it's a good all-around mix and it's quick. So what I did was just simply reduce this. So then I'm throwing out less. If you can notice, you guys have seen it visually happen live. I still got good fish on a lesser mix. Now, who's to say you can't get one on a 3,000 gram mix? Who knows? To save yourself time so you can hit more spots. Not to mention, you guys have to figure out yourself if you're playing jolly carp, hook size, and everything else. I don't know what the minimum number would be. Maybe 3,000 grams, maybe 3,200 grams. I don't know. Oh, if you could just share them. Well, like I said, Travis, what I'm trying to do more than anything is teach you to use your own brain. Not to be rude, but like I said, I'm not saying my mix is the best either. But it's obviously the proof's in the pudding. I've did good in since this thing started on either this mix or the bigger one. Yeah, or the bigger one. But Travis, just know the simple formula. The total number of your ground bases. I remember when you were Travis, you were trying to ask me something about one of the other comps, and I said I put up the best video I could because it's teaching you how to put your own stuff together and experiment. The number one thing you need to know is this total of these two numbers. You need to divide it by 5 to get your particle numbers, and then you could figure out if you want to do 2 or 3 of them. Same thing here, divide that by 7.5 to get these. That way it's at least optimized and you're in the ballpark from your foundation. From there, you just got to figure out what you're trying to target and what you're trying to do. And to me, it's just that simple. Now you start going into asp and eel and all the other stuff. I haven't got that far into it yet. And I don't know if I will. Maybe this winter. I don't have time right now. I do not have the time currently. Oh, one last thing. Hold on. Good question. Now, Christian, like I said, I'm going to keep saying this, and there's going to be people that put up a ton of videos behind me or something at some point probably. The best advice I can give you from my knowledge only, just from my knowledge only. I tried that, and it could be placebo. It could be placebo. But to answer your question, I did try that very thing where I was doing golden oil in this slot instead. I think that's where you're going. And to me, it felt like hemp corn was a little better. But that's just could be placebo. Like one guy saying, hey, I like a black lure versus the acid buzzbait or that sort of thing. We know how that goes. One person says, I like the yellow shad. No, I like the red shad. It's the same kind of a thing, maybe. But for me, to answer your question, I lean towards the hemp corn more. And let me see if I can find, where's my thunder metric? Okay, same thing here. Yeah, same thing here, Christian. This is my old, this is basically my Lake Placid mix, and I changed some stuff, but it's the same thing. I love these three. You guys see me use these a lot, and that's just because it's all seasons. I'm not saying that Sweet Crucian and Tutti Frutti might be better in these spots, but for me, I noticed this works on a sunny peak or a cloudy peak or a rainy peak because it's all seasons. These two are all seasons. So a lot of times you guys see my mixes, I'm running those because even if it's a little slower, it seems to work better on the other peaks. But like I said, test all that stuff for yourself. But again, the same thing here. This is way more expensive, or it's twice as expensive because I'm putting 2 golden particles in. To whereas this, it's more economical, I guess I should say, to do it like this. So basically, I can get like 4 spots out of this for 3 bait coins. And that's another reason I only do it an hour or 2 here and there, just so I'm not blowing all my bait coins on golden mixes. Again, experiment on your own. If you want to go down the rabbit hole of all golden, be careful. Do that at your own accord. Don't come back to me later and say, bro, I spent 300 Bitcoins and only caught a 104 pounder. Not my problem. I've told you beforehand what I'm doing. I'm showing you what I'm doing. And I can come in here and spod myself and only get a 94 pounder or something stupid for an hour. And that's why I only do it a couple hours here and there a week. Because then my patience wears thin too. So if some of you guys are just having bad luck, maybe you're just having bad luck. I don't know. I know Keith's messed with it a little bit here and there, and I think he's only got a 103 pounder still. And I know he knows exactly what I've been doing. But like I said, just to answer that, Christian, just try some of that stuff out for yourself. But like I said, like Wolf said too, there could be some reason to use the golden carp rival, but hell, that's expensive. You guys know as well as I do, I'm frugal. I'm frugal with my bait coins. I'm frugal with my club tokens. Hell, I'm frugal with my 300 million game credits I have. In other words, I don't like wasting any of it, to be honest. Oh, yes, he was messing with that and got a piggy. Did he get a 108 pounder or something? Yeah, I think Sober's got a 110 pounder too. Oh yeah, and just like another thing going back to the optimizing, where is that at? Same thing here. I love this little thing for missions. But you see the pattern? I just divided the 1,000, the same formula I just mentioned like 3 times in the stream. That is a very quick mix if you're trying to do missions or you're just trying to get carp or whatever. That's a very quick mix. Just smaller hooks, obviously. You could probably use that to farm carp if you really wanted to. Let's do like a 5060. On a side note too, Jason, I'm such a penny pincher. I think the golden pistachio or whatever it's called, passioncino, that's 5 Bitcoin, so that's a little more expensive. Hold on, let me look at that. How did I even do that? Where is that one? Not that one. See, I think that one's just generic. Hold on. Yeah, it is. This one? No, yeah, this one. It also makes me wonder if you can't just put, I don't know if that would work. I did have 5% passioncino, but there's my catfish thing. But you could do the same thing here. More than likely, you could do the same thing here and just put in less of it, 3600. I just haven't played with it. That, and if you go and try to get an oversized one at Dnipro, oh my god, that's so boring too. I'm not having fun at Dnipro. I just did it for a little bit. Depends on the person and how patient you are, I guess. I think when you spod for 4 or 5 minutes, do you do all fish on? No, and Travis, I don't, for several reasons. I don't get in the ocean for starters very much, and there's so many weird glitches, as well as until they can get that. The other day I went to do a mission, Travis, and as soon as I load in and try to go to the, you guys probably know, if I even go to stream and start figuring those out at any point, the game itself's going to have to hold up. And no offense to Fishing Planet, but they're having crashing issues at the ocean so bad that it's hard for me to even enjoy it, because as soon as I go in, it crashes my stream or the game crashes. So it's going to be a while before I even mess with any of those. And on top of it, I don't enjoy the ocean as much, so I haven't really put any time into them. I think the only one I still play every once in a while is the Marlin. But yeah, I can barely even go to Scarlin Ford or whatever, because every time I go there, it either crashes my stream, or even if I'm off stream, I go over there to do something and my game crashes nonstop as soon as I load into the lake. So, and I've cleared my cache like they've said to do. I've port forwarded, if you guys know what port forwarding is. So I've port forwarded. I've got a static IP address on my PS5. I did everything that I could on my end. I know my internet's strong, so it's the game itself crashing. So until they figure that out, I doubt I'll spend too much time at the ocean in general. So in other words, you're on your own on that one, buddy. This spot's slow. It's probably going to blank me. This spot's going to blank me. It is getting later in the day. Where's your guys' favorite cave lake spot? Is it over here in these areas? I don't really like these areas. I don't like this area either. I know a lot of people like this area. I don't really like this area. Cave Lake just doesn't treat me good in general, though. Maybe it's because it's my last stop and the peak's almost out. Could try starting over here. Well, that's the way I used to have to learn it, Travis. You just go in and get in there and scrap. I guess if you care about your personal rating or a leaderboard or whatever, it's probably not ideal, but find a buddy and do practice templates if you're scared about your personal rating or whatever. Oh, this is your number one pond? It probably is, Wolf. What have you been doing over here? No, this spot can be slow. I did win the biggest mare carp off of this last week, though, I think. But it is slow. There's so many little deep spots to try, though. There's that other spot I was going to mess with. It's too far. Forward? No. 27K off. Alright, I got another 5 minutes. We don't have spawn. Go replenish and try again. We'll do one more route of gold mixes and I'll do a round of generic. See if we get anything big on generic. Come on, give me one carp, bro. I don't know. I realized that earlier when I went to look for the golden particles. I don't know why they don't. Why doesn't Weeping Willow of all places not sell particles? That's happened to me before in Jolly Carp. Thought I had my particles and I didn't. I go to the shop. I'm like, really? There's no particles here. Two more minutes for that spot. Get out of here. It's wasting time. Come on, bro. Well, I've got a decent mix for. It's been a while since I won teams. I got a decent mix for catch 'em all, but until I put him in it, there's no sense of sharing the mix. I podiumed in it a long time ago on the slow peak, but the fast peak on catch 'em all is the one that I need to get better at. But again, there's too much time to try to figure stuff out. Alright, at least we got one fish. Damn. It's about to be slow over here. I'm leaving after this fish. See, that was a baby one. Happens to me too, guys. Alright, let's go replenish and we'll come right back. No, I'm not going to spend all my big coins today. I'll spend 6. All that work I had to do for that independence thing for 50 Bitcoins, definitely not going to throw it all the way on golden particles. Definitely not golden feeder. Yeah, I got a, I got the, my PB leather, a 98.7 and only 103, I think 103.6 mirror or something. Wasn't horrible. Wasn't horrible so far. How you doing, SJ? Oh no, let's keep that. Let's keep that. We're good. We're good. Let's see. What else am I missing? Max flavor. Oh, we got enough. Hold on, let me clear some of the particles. We got enough for a few spots. That's getting really low. I'll get one of those. Need to sum the 4th of July event. Yeah, it does take a while. What do you got? Are you doing the whole thing? It took me, I think, around 11 hours. I was playing comps and stuff in between. I got stuck on the grass pickerel. I don't know if you get stuck on those. Holy cow, that mudwater was a debacle for me. Whew. That was bad. That was bad. Alright, we're going to do 1 golden hemp. Alright. think we're good. Oh, hold on. What was I missing? What is that thing? What was that wolf? A golden... What was that thing? Trophy. That one. I do have those. You only get 3 of them. You're in Mudwater. I have nothing for you, Christian. I have nothing for you on that one, buddy. I got 2 quick from like the Q2 for the pike, the winter pike. I got 2 there quick, and I couldn't get the 3rd one forever. I had to go and do the other ones and then come back and finally get it. That one pissed me off. I got stuck on that one longer than I did anything. I don't know what was up with that historic grass pickerel, but it hates my guts. Alright guys, I brought those over. We'll see. So what I'm going to stick with 17 O's, do the same thing again. Start at the same time, same everything. Other than, did I have shellfish on here? What do I got on here? Oh, I do got shellfish. Let's go back to plum. 1 plum. What is that one? Chocolate. Is that chocolate? 1 strawberry. Plum. I already got a strawberry. What am I missing? Tiger nut. Let's do tiger nut. Alright, here we go again. Going back to Wolf's Room. The crappie get you? Oh, the crappie got me too. Well, and I was being stubborn. They were all trying to tell me you could only get the black crappie, which I found was annoying at Neherrin. Then you had to go to Mudwater for the white crappie. And then the largemouth bass, for whatever reason, weren't at the Everglades. And then the smallmouth wasn't at St. Croix. And it's like, holy cow. It was still a fun event. I'm glad I finally got it over with, though. Alright, where did I start? Was it 1 p.m. last time? 1 p.m. and that first one was slow, so let's try it again. Alright, now the exciting part. Spot for 4 minutes and hopefully get a bite. I think I was throwing 17 now. Oh, I was throwing a little further than that. 14. What about everybody else? You guys already got your Independence thing done? I was going to try to snag some cannonballs at some point, but I think I got enough leftover lures that I should be good for a while. I would like to have 1 more striped jerkbait. I might snag a few cannonballs before it's over. You need 2 more lures, Grim? Alright, get them. I did notice I did shoot off 7 cannons last night. I think... Dude, it seems like the ratio they give your lures are not very good. Stuck on tag 4 mission because of a lure. Ah, that stinks, buddy. I assume you've been trying to get your cannonballs. Oh yeah, don't forget to grab that statue. Jill. Another bucket list item. Alright, we got about 3 hours to sign up for the trout thing. I did do a little bit of practicing yesterday, and we only made it like, I think 45 minutes into the Q2 practice. It's so boring. Holy cow, man. Forgot how bad the brown trout can be on that peak at St. Croix. That was brutal. Brutal. Oh, that's what I was going to say too. I was telling Duel that story yesterday because, you know, I usually don't like to put a template up just because, like, what happened in Grizzly. He had a God tier run for the practice for the last boat series Q3. He goes into it and barely gets spawned. So a lot of times I'll practice a similar peak, but you're exactly right. The event fish get in the way, especially at St. Croix. That happened to me one year when I made the St. Patty's Day thing was going. And the water was green. I don't know if it's just because the water was green or it was during the event. I was trying to practice for the Catfish World Tour final in free mode, and it was miserable. The water was green, and yeah, even more annoying when you're. That's what was happening when I was trying in free mode. I was using the grub, and I kept getting the damn historic white bass or whatever the hell they are. And so we put up a template. But good grief, it was slow. I forgot how slow that qualifier is. I can see why a lot of people skip it. That one is not very fun. What map is the best to get a stork fish on? Oh, to get the hat? I was doing, if you watch the very start of my stream, it was a little slow yesterday, Graham. There's a spot straight out from the cabin. I was doing the I Want You spoon if you have it. You could get the bull trout and the historic bull trout and the historic Chinook. They're at Kanique. Seemed to be the fastest for me. Yep, Kanique. For me, for the little bit that I did. Yeah, Kanique. I think everybody's going to say Kanique. Yeah. Straight out from the cabin where I had the best luck. That's where I got the majority of mine anyway. That and the 50 bait coins is definitely worth it. And Harold liked the Falcon Lake Rainbow. The brown, yeah, I could see where you'd like that, Harold. Getting the brown trout and the rainbow. 2 species, historic. I'm shortcast everything. Yep, especially if you're still leveling up, I would always do your dailies. For sure, I still do mine for fun here and there. On my club tokens, I do like the club tokens. If there's days I skip my premium or my regular daily one, I'll skip, but most of the time I'll try to get my club catch done. Just for those 3 club tokens. Don't know if I'll get to it today though. What about grass pickle? Wes, do you hate me that bad, bro? I'd probably have 1 historic fish in 4 days if I went there. Yeah, well, that and the event itself is costly, so yeah, you're gonna probably have to spend some days farming some game credits, buddy. For sure. Pretty good Les, just doing a little carp fishing. Got a 103 pounder earlier and a 98 leather, so far so good. Cannonball, Quanchkin, flathead spot, crankbait does both sides. Nice. I'll try that, Harold, if I get a little bit of time to mess with it. I was going to try to get me, I'm being a cheapskate, but I wanted one extra stripe jerk bait. Those things are like 50 bait coins, so I was going to try to spend a little time and get a few cannonballs. See if I can get a lucky cannon shot and get me one extra stripe jerk bait. I think I got 2 of them. 2 or 3, but I'd like to have one more. Alright, will it be a small one? Who knows? Still small. Still small. One more day at Willow, and then you're going to go do your missions? Nice. No, not too bad. Just the leather, though. Let's go to... Already got the leather out. Let's go chocolate. How long will we have to wait for the mirror, and will the mirror even show up? I've had that happen too, where you get a leather but no mirror, or a mirror no leather. At least on the big hooks. Also, have you guys experimented with using bottom rods in the Gerari fruit and all that? Have you noticed a difference? To me, it felt like the carp rods were a little better, if anybody was curious, but like I said, it was just a limited amount of testing. When I first came in and messed with it, it seemed like I was getting better luck on carp rods or boilies than I was the bottom rods, but that could be in my head. In other words, is anybody just running all bottom rods when you're over here getting these? Hey, Roy, what's up, buddy? Oh, let's see. Is it a mirror? Is it a common? Is it a baby mirror? Is it a big mirror? It doesn't feel very big. I got my PB leather earlier, but only a 103-pound mirror so far. I think this is my 5th spot. Other than my leather, nothing too impressive. I should have brought the golden corn, Harold. I don't know. I know you can't use it competitively. Can you still equip the golden corn to the carp rod, guys? I should have brought some. I didn't even think of that. To be honest, I haven't messed with the corn and peas now that you mention it much. Harold, I should sometime. I used to do that just for fun. What about the next tournament? You want my thoughts on it? It's not bad. It could be better, but it's not bad. All right, that's a pig. That's a little piggy, boys. Okay, I did that live stream. There you go. What is that one? What is that one, fellas? Do the math. Is that the number one right now? Okay, guys. Here, let me record that again. There we go. Is that 104? That's 105.3. All right, guys. Now listen. You seen what I did, right? Is there any tricks to that? Did I do any tricks? I showed you the mix. There you go. So the next time somebody comes and says Rhode's hiding stuff, what am I hiding? I put up everything in the clip and I told you guys to test stuff. Only thing that I've did is made a smaller mix. So there you go. That's a fast mix. My Thunder Carp. There we go. And all that is an evolved mix from my Thunder Carp that's Imperial. Showed that again. Yep, golden mix. Golden particles. There's my old Thunder Carp. If you don't have the bait coins, this mix I'm sure works just fine, but I don't know if you're going to get 105s off of it. I don't know. Test it for yourself. But you guys just seen that. 105.3. How long did it take me? That was my 5th spot. 5th spot, guys. Again, but you have to experiment on your own. In other words, next time somebody messages me and saying, Rode, are you hiding what you're doing? La, 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 la. You guys seen me do it live. No tricks. Again, quite frankly, guys, it's pixels on a video game. Don't make it something more than it is. I do try to help people the best that I can. And with that being said, anybody that watches this back, you got like 4 days to knock my big fish down. That's not even my biggest fish. What is it again? Hold on. How much time do we got? When does this end? Marker spot? Marker spot? No. You need all the markers? I'll put it up in a clip and I'll show you how. You guys are watching how I rotate it. Alright, that's weekly. Alright, here's my monthly one. Now, somebody should be able to knock me down. Vegeta's been trying, I guarantee you. There's how many club tokens? If I get lucky and I get the club tokens. Monday's reset. When's the month reset, though? Next Monday? Alright, so you guys got until next Monday. And I'm even going to be sidetracked with the tournament. So everybody's got, what is it, 4 days? You got 4 days to take the 100 club tokens for me for the month, guys. There you go. I'm showing you exactly what I just did. There you go. Have fun with it. All right, now should we go through and do five spods, do the same thing and just take the golden out of it and compare it? It's a small sample size again, but I can do it for you. Here, let me record this. Here's what I like to do. Here's my first spot. And then I've gotten this new spot that I like down here. That's my second spot. Or third spot, depending on how I do it. Then my other spot, where the hell is it? Right here. Rhode's Toad. This spot. Right there. And then my newest fourth spot, as you can see, let me down a second ago, but I did win last week right there. That's the 4 spots I try. Here, I'll save that. 3 minutes. Did I already get the leather out of here? I was sitting here talking for nothing. I did. Let's get the hell out of here. All right, let's go ahead and finish it out, and then I'll do one more. I'll do one generic rotation after this. And then you guys, like I said, test it for yourself. Copy my mix. Do whatever you want. There is a good one out of Wolf, but again, there's something special about having your own mix. My new Thunder Carp is, however, copyrighted. I've copyrighted my new mix. It's officially copyrighted. Thunder Carp. You seen it from Rode. I can't get the arrows. Deep runner lure is the best. Yeah, if you don't have the bait coins for it, I wish I could give you one, Dave. I would, buddy. I don't know. Somebody in chat might be able to help you. I haven't been very good at the. I suck at snagging stuff anyway. But somebody in the chat might be able to help you with a good cannonball spot, and I guess from there you're just gonna have to get really lucky. I'm sure there's several people that are hung up on stuff. Yeah, I kind of like that. I only use it for little bitty things, but I love the deep runner from the shark a long time ago, really. Not that I use it in that, but I've used it before on brown trout. I've used it on walleye. It's actually okay for top-notch walleye. It's just the hook size is a little small, really, but we know how hook sizes work. Try it on walleye sometime, really. It's not bad. But yeah, there's better things. Better things than that one. But yeah, it's funny, the one lure that you don't use, you end up having more of them. It always ends up that way. That one or two things you want extra of, you never get. For the longest time, believe it or not, really, I had one roach spoon. Because I never did the Halloween event way back when, before they had that pack where you could get, for bait coins, you could get like 13 of them or whatever it was. Probably for 3.5 years, I had one roach spoon. Really, that's all I had. Yeah, I don't. You're just. I hate to say it, but you're just getting the worst luck, Dave. Yeah, that was me when I had one roach spoon. At least I had the one, I guess. I kept trying to open up all the jack-o'-lanterns or whatever the hell they're called. The game will do that to you, Dave. Wait until you start playing comps, if you ever start playing comps, bro. Yeah. You'll want to take your PlayStation or whatever you play on and take it out in your driveway and run it over with your car 3 or 4 times. Just say I quit. No, I wouldn't do that. Depends on what you're doing. No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just throw out 5 times. Like I said, if you're trying to look for a... Hold on, I'll show it again, Raptor. Not if you're trying to get an oversized. If you're trying to just catch some carp, I would just make a smaller mix. If you're just looking to farm, I would do a smaller hook and just throw a small mix. Or throw half your mix out, maybe. You could do it that way too, but I don't know. My mixes are... I have a purpose for all of them. You got your first, second place? Which compo is it, buddy? Good stuff. In other words, if you hate spotting, like I said, I'll show this again, but critique it or do whatever you want with it. But this mix right here doesn't have any golden particles in it, but this mix right here is actually really fast. I think you can throw that out in like 1.5 to 2 minutes. It's basically just a full bag of carp rival. And to optimize it, I put in one thing of Big Riverine, 1 gram, so then I can balance all these out. But that's a good mission mix, or probably even a farming mix. I could probably critique it a little more, but yeah, something like that's what I would say. If you're not going for oversized and you're just trying to catch them. In other words, I've never spotted 5 times and got a 104-pound carp or anything. And Rui's tried at least 10 spots. Yeah, there's probably a magic number, too. Yeah, there could very well be, Rui. Probably could be something along with the weight that you're throwing out as well. Who knows? The 5 bass one? Bass challenge or the best 5? The one at Falcon or Emerald? Either way, good podium, buddy. I forgot how to cast. Short caster 88. Come on, bro. Seems like around 2K. Okay, yep. Doesn't surprise me. 2 kilograms. Falcon, yeah, that one can be tough. That one we used to call it force-filled bass. All your fish just bounce off. Oh, this spot's gonna blank me. Rui, have you tried putting together like a 2,500 or 2,700 gram mix and see if you still got a 100-pounder? That'd be another thing to test. I forgot I had enough time. My thing is my 3,600 gram mix is working just as good as my 4,500 gram mix, so it's hard to mess with it. And like I said, guys, in Jolly Carp, it's a whole different ball game because you don't have a rod stand. So who knows what's best to do. It took you 45 minutes to get. I was there. You remember, Wolf? We were in the same lobby that one day. That's all I've messed with the eel. At some point this winter, I'll go and mess with it. I'm trying to find a little fast mix for the eel, the asp, and something else just to help people. I don't really like Length Matters comp. I don't really like One of Us, Two of Asp either. Even before spotting, I just don't like One of Us, Two of Asp. But I'm gonna try to work on a decent mix that way people can feel competitive. And Xander Seek maybe. Sober's already got a Xander mix, but I didn't know if he wants it shared or not. I haven't tried it either. Sober's really pitching into those things. I don't really like the Xander Seek competition at all. That one I find very boring. With spotting or without. I might get struck out over here. Maybe I should have went to the other spot. Maybe I shortcasted everything. Get that up there a little further. That could be something too. Who knows what you're supposed to be putting together either. My guess would be Pastoncino and something else, but who knows. Well, that, and you probably have to match up the peaks too. Who knows? Those are going to be tricky to figure out. At least where anything's consistent on it. Alright, I finally got a bite. Already got a 105 pounder, so I'll probably get dumped on this one. Oh, I can tell you those things will fight, bro. At Marin, I started this to help you. I was able to, and that was back in the day. I think I got them in, believe it or not. I don't know if it would still work. I think the smallest heavy chaser, but I think you're better off having Casadora, bro. I think that's what they're called, those blue rods. There's another decent one. It's not a 105 pounder, but we got 200 and some pounders in our net. I think that's a 100 pounder. 46.8 kilos? What's 46.8 kilos? 102 and something. Yeah, if you can get the Cazadoras, I do remember farming those back then, but that's before they changed the fish is too strong, so I'm trying to do the math on it. Could you land a 170 pound catfish on a 58 pound setup? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. You might be able to do it with the bigger heavy chaser. I remember back in the day when I didn't have the Cazadora farm in there, that was a nightmare. Yeah, worst case scenario, you can go try it. But yeah, it's going to be a hell of a fight. But that's a good place to farm. You're just going to have some probably longer fight times on that heavy chaser. Brought back memories there, though. I remember sitting over there farming those damn things on a heavy chaser, and I've never been so glad to get the Cazadoras unlocked. Holy cow. Oh, man, them catfish. I remember back then I used to try rushing the fight too, and before they trained the drag system, and they would bounce so much every once in a while I'd get one off on low tension. Big Bear Smart. Oh, what is that jumping? Is that It was horrible, JL. I used to stand back from the rod stand and try to figure out which one's the uni because the rod kind of flattens out weird. But yeah, no juggling with heavy chasers. You're pot committed once you figure out which one you want. All right, that's a decent grass carp. Finally got a grass carp. Finally. Did I already get the leather? Yeah, I did. Should we bail? Let's bail. Let's go one more spot. Alright, back over here. Alright, so far we got... It's pretty good. I still play this Risky. Dude, Risky, I haven't seen you forever. Yeah, I still play this, man. I'm thinking about pre-ordering GTA 6, though, for November. For something to rotate to. Yeah, I might be pre-ordering that. GTA 6 looks like it might be pretty fun. Alright, I'm going to spot this one more spot, and then I'm going to switch and do generics. We'll even come back and do the same rotation with generics one round and just see what we get. How do I get this hat? Bro, it's a long... I had 3 streams worth. If you want to go watch my last 3 streams. It was hard. It's a lot to explain, buddy. I'm sure Dave or KP or Bubbles would have a... If you're looking for like a breakdown... I'm usually not that kind of a streamer. I normally just stream at the events and just try to figure stuff out. To get the hat, you have to catch 150. Is it 150 historic fish? Could be any fish. Or do you have to do all the prerequisite stuff too, guys? I can't remember. Can you just get the 150 historic fish and get the hat and 50 bait coins? Without doing all the other stuff, maybe? I don't know. I think it's called History Catcher if you look at your profile, buddy. History Catcher or Store Catcher. Hold on, let me look for you. I can't remember. Yeah, this one right here. If you look over your profile, go to Challenges, and then it'll keep track for you. But I think it was 150 fish. Yeah, I think you could probably just to get the hat and the 50 bait coins, as long as you got a lure, and then you got to catch the stork fish. I don't know how many times. How long does does that ever even show up anymore? Does it tell you? It used to give you a timer. Yeah, I don't know how much longer this is. My guess would be it's probably going to end shortly after 4th of July, so you should have 4 or 5 days to mess with it. I don't know what level you are, buddy. You have to pick a lake that you got a lure you can catch the stork fish and sit there and grind them. It's probably worth the 50 bait coins, though. I think Falcon, Harold was saying Falcon. Surely you got Falcon unlocked. If you got the, what would be the best? The Old Glory Grub? If you got the Old Glory Grub, maybe there. The Old Glory Grub or the Stars and Stripes Shad, maybe on a little jig head. You could probably sit and farm the rainbow and the brown trout, maybe. If you're lower level. Or hell, you could probably do Rocky, right? Rocky's got 2 of them, doesn't it? Or mainly the golden. Or no, there's Cutthroat there too. You could probably do Rocky if you're a lower level. Oh, man. I would say I would probably do a minimum of 1-0. Probably 1-0 to 3-0 at Falcon, and probably, what do you guys think, a number 2 or a number 1 at Rocky? I would downsize at Rocky because they're smaller. Yeah, I would downsize at Rocky. Probably a number 2. Best spot to farm. I don't know that. Well, for the upper level, I was farming the fish. I think I just said that earlier, Dave. I farmed the fish at Kanik. Kanik was good for me. You have done that challenge but didn't get the hat. Oi, I don't know then. Like I said, you might have to check out Bubbles Way or Super Dave or KP Shamino on that. I don't know. Unless somebody in chat can help you, buddy. Why that? Unless you have to do. Unless you have to do. What is that stuff called? Hold on. I can't remember what the hell it's called. What were those called? You might have to do all those other ones, buddy. I don't know. You might have to do all these coordinates and all this crap first. Yeah, I don't know if they let you take that shortcut. I was thinking that when I said it earlier. I don't know for sure, guys. Bubbles Way or KP Shamino or Super Dave might know. You could probably Google it or YouTube it. Like I said, I put that off myself and just finally did that now, and I've played the game for 7 years. So I just now completed it myself, just because it takes so damn long. If you complete the challenge, you should double check and make sure you got 150, bro. Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you one way or the other 100%, but Rui's thinking that you can. In other words, do they make you get the vest and everything on? Yeah, and you might have just checked the total because you might, like he's saying, you might have just got the 50, buddy. Because it's gonna, yeah, there'll be 2 of them. Once you get 50, then it'll go from 50 to, or 51 up to 150, maybe. There might even be 3 Roman numerals. Is it 1, 2, and 3? History catcher 1, 2, and 3, because a lot of the other stuff's like that. Damn, I got so sidetracked. I even. Yeah, I did. I would say Kanik, buddy. You only had 119. Yeah, I figured you were short. I would go to Kanik. Cast straight out from the cabin. Okay, there's a small one. Holy jonker. We go from 105 to 102 to whatever the hell that thing is. That's not even oversized though. Let's wait this out. I have noticed one thing. It doesn't happen all the time. If you get a regular mirror, sometimes the bigger one will come in behind it. Not all the time. I've noticed that though. Don't mean it will now. I can't show you right now, but I think towards the start of my stream yesterday, I did a chill stream. If you cast straight out from the cabin at Kanik where you go for the Chinook, there's a short spot I was casting that you can get the... I was using the I Want You spoon. I don't know what else you got to catch him. That's another question probably. I would assume the Liberty Medium spoon would probably work as well. I was getting the bull trout and the... what are the other ones? The Chinook. That's the orc Chinook. In that spot. It'd probably only take you an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe, or less probably. What do you need, 31 of them? You only need 31. Holy cow, did this mixed up? This one might have just missed altogether. What was due to get blanked? You need 100? Yeah, that's going to take you a little while longer, buddy. Depends on your luck, too. What happened to me yesterday, too, in fact, I was on a roll the other night and got like 20 of them, and I saved like 5 or something to do a chill stream yesterday and play one comp Salmon Clash or something. I went in there, and it took me a while, longer than it should have. Alright, we'll wait this out another 5 or 6 minutes. See what happens. Should I try those 15 hours? Getting the grind, yeah. Oh, I'm sure there's people. I think Jason had said that. He didn't even. I don't think he bought the pack. Just did it in a couple years, I guess. Snag all the cannonballs, get the lucky lures that you need, and go from there. Make it a couple-year project. But nothing wrong with grinding it, especially if you got the time off. Dude, I think that's going to be our first blank. Just need 2 more lures. Which lures are you missing, buddy? Oh, this spot's shafting me, bro. Yep, just grind the cannonballs till you hit them. Jason, yeah, I thought you said you did that. I did the exact opposite. Bought the $5 pack, shot the cannons off, and had whatever pack, the lures come with the pack and a few extra ones, and got the reel. And then I was like, I started looking through the criteria. I'm like, dude, that'll take forever. So that was like 4 or 5 years ago. And boy, it did take a while. It took 11 or 12 hours worth. The eagle spoon and the frog. How much is the eagle? The eagle spoon can't be too much in the shop. All right, 2 more minutes. Come on, bro. At least give me a leather out of this. It doesn't work like that here, buddy. I'm not that kind of streamer where I'm doing giveaways. I think Super Dave and I don't know who else does them. Maybe BC Alb. I think that's his name. Bo Engels? No, Bo Engels. Bo Engels and Super Dave gives DLCs. I think. I don't know when they do them, but yeah, I don't have DLCs to give away. All right, we got a nice grass carp anyway. Oh, damn, that's more than I thought it would be, Jason. I was hoping it was like 8 or 10. Never mind, bro. Yeah, that's quite a bit. Are you finished the event mission? Yeah, I got it done over the weekend. It took me a while. I think around 12 hours or so. Played in some comps too, so somewhere in there. And I got stuck probably 2 hours on a damn historic grass pickerel at Mudwater. Alright guys, here's what I'm gonna do. You guys watch what I'm gonna come back on the same peak and I'm gonna change the mix. We know we got a 105-pound leather or 105-pound mirror, 103-pound mirror, and a 102-pound mirror, whatever the hell it was. Now I'm gonna change it and go to generics. We'll go through the same rotation and see if we notice a difference. Again, test all this stuff out for yourself, guys. You have to test for yourself. In other words, you have to put the time in. How much is golden hemp? It's actually very reasonable. Like I said, this is just for me. I think that's 13 hours now I've put into this, but it just seemed that way to me. And Keith tested it, and I think Sober tested it as well. And then Pros, like I've mentioned this before, but I'll keep saying it. I know Pros, my buddy Pros, that's friends with Dave. I told him about it and had him go test it. And I don't know how far Dave's got with it, but I know Pros even left a comment on my golden mix thing, guys. So it's up to you guys to figure that out. But let me see, what was that monthly? It took a while for it to work for Pros, but he was able to get a number 4 fish on the year, I think. Is it on the year even? That's a month. Let me see where he's at on the month. Okay, he's number 5. It's only 3 bait coins less, but like I said, I'm gonna go through now. If you missed that part of the stream, there's what I'm using in metric. If you like a bigger mix, that's the same thing. It's the same thing as just a bigger mix, but you seen me get a 105 pounder on the smaller mix. And I'm pretty sure that's what I got my 106 pounder on. I'm pretty sure. It just takes time. With that being said, hold on a second. Let's see. How do I have no idea, Chris. I have no idea. But Chris, if you're a guy that's concerned about what I'm showing and what I'm not showing, you might rewind the stream. I just got a bunch of big carp on that mix right there. Just in the event anybody thinks I'm holding stuff back, end quote. So now what I'm going to do is go in, let's see, that would be 360. So that would be 180. All right, let's do the same thing. So to do that, I'm going to have to go over here. All right. So I'm going to take that up just to add extra. We know that I'm at 1800 here. So with that being said, I'm going to take out... Oh, can I do that without... Let's see, hold on here. Alright, so we're going to take the golden out. And obviously following along, so I'm going to make that 7.5% and 7.5%. So we're just going to do regular. Take this up to 180. I'm going to take this up to 180. Following along. 180. Alright, now take this down slow because what can happen, it'll erase your entire mix and that'll piss you the hell off. Anybody that's done this before knows what I'm talking about. So what I normally do is I'm going to take that down to about 305 and then go down slow so I don't mess up. Let's go 304. Okay, it's not quite optimized, but it's close. 7.48. It's almost spot on there. Yep, Wolf, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I normally go down a little slower, go to 301, make sure. Okay, I know I'm almost there. Now I'm going to go to 300 and watch. Boom. 3,600 grams. So I just broke it down differently. So instead of 5% golden hemp, I'm doing 7.5 and 7.5. So there's no golden in this. And we're going to go test this out. We'll just let it play out for itself. And there we go. Now let's make sure. Hold on, let's order some stuff here. Just in case. Make sure I got carp brow. Alright, this probably, we'll see how it plays out. Speak too soon. Let's see if we can get a 105 pounder with it. Or 103. Let's hope we do. Let's hope we do, because then you don't have to spend any Bitcoins at all. Again, to each your own. I never tell anybody how to spend their money. I never tell them how to spend their Bitcoins. It's all entirely up to you guys. Alright, where'd you guys go? Did everybody quit spawning? Alright, we'll start a new friend zone. Anybody's welcome to join. Well, like I said, the thing is, there's been people saying that I'm holding stuff back and that sort of thing. But that part gets annoying because I put a lot of time into helping people. And to be honest, I could just do my own mixes and never share anything, but I'm not like that. So, but again, best advice is just, if you watch that optimized video, make your mixes yourself and just test stuff out. I'm the type of person that I like to have my own mix. And I don't mind if anybody copies my mix, but I'm just saying, I don't think that one mix is the best mix. I think you need to try your own stuff and figure out what you like. And depending on what you're doing, do your own adjustments. All right, so we're running the same thing, Thunder Carp, but we're going to do generic. Obviously, you guys seen what I did. It's perfectly balanced. 3,600, there's just no golden particles in it. Do the same thing, same spot, same everything. Same peak, same start time. And let's hope we get 104. Let's hope. You've been liking them. Well, see, and that's a whole nother thing too. Is that's why I was saying if the base part of it, and I keep drilling this in people's head. I've gave you the foundation on how to optimize, and special again thanks to my buddy Sober. We've tried to figure that out forever, and he was the one that we were sitting on a party one time. And I was like, it'd be nice if we had a formula. He's like, oh, I know what you mean. So we started messing with it on the calculator, and he'd figured it out before I did in regards to the optimizing. And from there, yeah, who knows? You might be able to, and carp or I know Wolf there in my club, she actually fishes for carp in real life. I don't. But who knows? Maybe even in this mix, maybe your secondary, you could put in black roacher or something. Hell, who knows? Again, I just lean on these three aromas because I like them the best. But not saying that, like I said before, hell, who knows? Molasses and Tutti Frutti or anything. Who knows? Test that out for yourself, guys. Or you could put in Grandfish as your second. You've been using GPT? Good old AI. I got a Galaxy. I've been using my AI, believe it or not, at work sometimes when I get stuck working on a piece of equipment I can't figure out. It's amazing how quick they are at helping you diagnose stuff, too. At first I didn't like AI, but now I'm starting to like it a little more. It helped me figure out a problem the other day. I had a PTO clutch out on one of my zero turns at work, and it helped me diagnose it fairly quick, which was cool. If you know what a PTO clutch is. Probably not, but maybe. Oh, you like it that way too, Chris? Yeah, it's nice. It's quick too. I look up something and you don't want to Google it. I just hold my button in and ask I name mine. I named him Bro, so he'll just talk back. He spits out the data quickly, very quickly. I do like that. Did you get a good one? Where'd you go, Roy? How come we're not in the same room? Did your guys' room fill up? Maybe I was in a lucky room earlier. Who knows? Oh, that's one thing I will say too, and I told Pros that when he wasn't first having luck. Sometimes, if your room's junk, I've had that happen. I told Pros that. Sometimes too, if you're doing everything in a club room or a private room or that sort of thing, sometimes try different rooms as well. I know I sound crazy when I say that, but I think sometimes even when you're farming and doing stuff, your room might just get glitched out too. Who knows? We're over here, Wolf, where the small fish are. That room was working good for me. I got a 105 pounder in there. This could be a bad room though, Roy. Who knows? I'm trying to be optimistic, but like I said, I've been through this before, but we'll see how. Hopefully it plays out and I get something decent. I'd be happy with just a 100-pounder. Because what did I do earlier? I got 300-pound fish, my PB leather. I'm trying to think how many times I spotted. How many times did I spot earlier, guys? 7 or 8? I don't know if I can make it through 7 or 8 of these. We'll see if we can do it. We'll try to stick it out, guys. I'll try to be optimistic. Or maybe if you use generics, you should go down a hook size. I don't know. Like I said, I tested this out somewhat way back when it first came out. Let's hope for it's a 100-pounder. Come on, give us 104. 104-pounder. Oh, you doing Battle of Kanik? Get them. 70-pounders. This might be a good one. Come on, be 105. Your PB is still without the golds. Nice. Yeah, like I said, I'm not saying it can't happen. Like the way I look at it, it might just be just a small buff compared to your... Oh, the rodeo. Okay, I got you. That isn't horrible. 43-pound leather. 43 kilo. That's a decent. Is that like a 97? What is that? 46.9. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucky. No, Ruin, I think if you were playing back then during the Mighty Carp Tour, it's hard to explain. You're going to test the 18.0 curved hooks, get them. Yep, always be testing. Like I said, I don't know if it's because I just got stuck and I was getting lucky on the 17.0, so I've stuck to 17.0s. But I do notice I don't get very many grass and ghosts very often. I think I'd probably have to go down to 15 to 16 now. So if you're targeting those, maybe go down for sure. But if you're going for leather and mirror, for me at least, the 17.0s I like. Now, I didn't test, like Wolf was saying, I didn't try those trophy 15.0s very much yet. So that I can't tell you one way or the other. Alright, don't die now. But anyway, if you would have been playing the Mighty Carp Tour that year, it was horrible. Oh, good job, Johnny. Good to hear, buddy. I'm glad it's helping you, man. Yeah, and like I said, I've been experimenting with the golden mixes. It's such a long story, but before they took the oversized away, there was guys that we'd found out after the fact that they were using golden particles, and shortly thereafter they got rid of the oversized. I think because the community was fighting so much because there was carp that they could catch at, what was it? I think it was 46.9. But anyway, Jason, if Jason's still here, he'll remember. At best, you could spot them with normal mixes, and you might get a 46.3 on a rarity. A 46.2 or 46.3, I'm talking trophy carp at Sander. But there was guys that were getting 45 or 46.5, 7s, and 9s, and they were getting them consistently. And then I got a small tip afterwards, and I tried it, and then right after that they took it away. So when they did the new rework, if you're following along, I tested it, and it seemed like it's still giving a little bit bigger a fish, and that's where we are now. So, but I don't think you can get 46.9s. Yes, 46.9. You know what the deal was too, JL, and it felt like you didn't have a chance. A few guys got through, but after that there was a big turmoil. So that's kind of led partially, I think, to them removing it. I think they just reworked it a little bit, but like I said, that's just still early on. But there's a mirror. Okay, we're gonna have to rotate. Okay, so we got a decent leather and a decent mirror. Let's go ahead and rotate. just to save time. But long story short, unless you knew the golden particle thing back then, you were kind of really up against the wall. So I think, do I know 100% sure that you're only going to get a 105 and 106 with it? I don't know. I can't tell you 100% sure, but I'm just telling you the testing that I've done now, the 11 hours and the 2 or 3 hours that we've done right now, it just seems more consistent with the golden particles. Do I know it to be fact 100%? No, I don't. But I wanted to put this live stream up and let you guys follow along with it and do your own testing, guys. Do your own testing. Don't spend all your Bitcoins. But my guess would be, just like if you buy a Bitcoin lure, there's going to be a little bit of a buff on it. So if you go into the shop and look at it, I don't know why they would have Bitcoin stuff if there wasn't some sort of buff on them. Because why would they sell Bitcoin mixes or Bitcoin lures if there wasn't a small percentage of buff on them? It would make no sense to sell them, right? Why would you have golden mixes if they don't do something a little extra? That's just my thought process, and I could be wrong. But don't know. Don't know. But the testing I've did, it feels like there is a buff on the golden particles at least. Is there a buff on the golden aromas that they attract them a little faster? Maybe. And it's so expensive to test the golden feeders. I don't know if I want to drop 5, 6, 7, 800, 900 Bitcoins to see what the big difference is on the golden carp rival versus generic carp rival. I don't know. Don't know for sure. Only tested it briefly and it's very expensive. Yeah, and like I said, if you're limited, then the golden particles, if it does end up being a thing, and that is what it was before and it is now, they have reworked it. But I wanted the information out there at least for people to test themselves. Again, I'm not saying it's 100% fact, so before somebody says this or that to contradict what I'm saying, I'm only telling you what I've tested so far, and I've showed you proof of it. From there, draw your own conclusions, do your own testing. Just like it, I'll give you a perfect example. Anybody that's won the X Series Rib Shad, my biggest Nile perch is off of the Glow Shad, the regular 4-inch Glow Shad still. Even after winning the X Series Shad. So I'm not saying you can't catch the max fish on a generic lure either, but you would like to think there's a little buff on it. If not, what are we competing for to win? To the best of my knowledge, yeah, I said that in the video. Again, I don't carp fish in real life, so somebody will probably crap on me or something in the comment section. Feel free to do so. I don't carp fish in real life, but from my experience playing the game for 7 years and spotting for about 5 years less, this is what you're targeting, carp rival for carp. This could be, a secondary. You could go for barbel with this, we know. Obviously, bream. It is big riverine breamer. So this is how you're targeting stuff. To the best of my knowledge and experience, again, I don't carp fish in real life, but these are your attractants. Now, you can match it up with your peak. I like the all seasons. I've said that several times. These kind of help you target as well as attract. And to the best of my knowledge, since there's oversizing in the game, that the particle's oversized. Thus, if you're wanting a little bit of a bigger fish, you would think it would be the golden particles that's doing it. Again, test all that stuff out for yourself. But to the best of my knowledge, yes, Les. I think you can attract fish maybe a little quicker with golden aromas, but golly, those are expensive. But that's entirely up to you on how you guys want to do it. But for me, even though I got 9,000 Bitcoins, it's very economical to try it for 3 Bitcoins for golden hemp that you can throw out 4 times basically on the size mix that I have. So anyway, that's where I'm with it so far. 4 years from now, if they change it again, who knows? That's as of right now of the little testing that I've done. But before I put all those videos up, like I said, I probably had about 5 or 6 hours, give or take, and that's with friends helping, do generic mixes, and then did the gold mixes. Because like I said, I don't want to ever tell anybody to spend all your bait coins and you're going to have amazing results. If you had a limited amount of bait coins, then maybe you have a separate mix. You have a generic mix and a golden mix, and then you would use a golden mix, like maybe for a particular comp that you like, or the Mighty Carp Tour, or the Catfish Q2, or something like that, where you're using golden Passioncino, or, yeah. Yeah, I have no idea, Chris. They seem to, I wish they would just get it where it's going to be and leave it. I think the problem ends up being is, for whatever reason, even though it's a video game, people sometimes get toxic, and I was one of the guys that were angry about the thing me and Jason was talking about earlier. Is it felt unfair if we could only top out a fish that was for the semifinal in the Mighty Carp Tour if you knew you were only going to get a 46.2 at best, and that's really like finding a unicorn. It really was, to get a 46.2, where they were getting 46.5s and up like it was nothing. And you've seen a whole team up there doing it. So, with that being said, I hope they've reworked it where it seems fair, and that's another reason I was trying to get you guys to experiment with it on your own. Strength in numbers, the more people you have testing stuff, then you can get a larger sample size, because if it's just me doing it alone, I can't tell you 100%, but to me it feels like I just get bigger fish more often with the golden particles. And that's just my knowledge passing it forward so far. Unless you're a guy that can spend 12, 14 hours a day doing it and write it all down and compare 100 spots versus 100 spots, that sort of thing. Just a little bit. That's a whole other thing to get into. Not enough yet, Les. I would assume those selective, I would almost want to say maybe for eyed or something weird over there. Are you talking about like the selective bloodworms that you can buy? Oh, you took an arrow in the knee. Oof. Hey, Julian, how you doing? That sucks. Sorry to hear that. An arrow to the knee. Oof. I assume that was a hunting accident. I meant to go. Where did I even go? I should have went to another spot. Let's see. We'll let it play out. Oh yes, I don't think that they have. Those aren't golden though, to the best of my knowledge. I can't check here. Jason, do you know? I don't think they're. Or Wolf might know. Somebody might know. I don't think there's golden. I don't think those millet and hemp and the other ones have golden particles. I think there's a selective like bloodworm and something else I haven't messed with yet. My assumption would be it'd be for something different. Who knows? Maybe the European perch or something weird like that, the smaller species, those selective bloodworms are eyed, or who knows? I can't even remember what they're called, to be honest. I think it's selective. Oh, it's from the game Oblivion. Yeah, I'm slow, Les. I'm slow. I haven't played Oblivion. I'm assuming that's an adventure game. Yeah, I can't remember. I don't think so, Jason. I don't think there's golden, the other golden stuff. I'm pretty sure there's not. I did try the golden briefly. I think I said that in the video. I did try the golden plum Amalia. I did a whole bag of it. I think the way I broke it down is I could get 4 spots out of it. I did 4 spots for 6 bait coins, and I didn't seem to notice, but that could have been a really small sample size too. So who knows? The plum Amalias might be good for mirror, you would think, but maybe if you found the right combo, you could isolate out the mirror a little better. I don't know. RPG of Elder Scrolls. Ah, I gotcha. I've heard of that game. Not bad, Tim. Just doing a little spotting, waiting to sign up for the tournament, and then I gotta go back and cool off some grass. We got the bad weather here. We got to work at 4:30 this morning, Tim, and got a lot of stuff done before it got hot. We're right in the middle of probably the same heat wave you're in, buddy. It's not fun outdoors right now. Ooh, good one, Rui. That's a good one. It's a 100-pounder, right? Hey, Alex, what's up, buddy? Alright, what is that? We got a 100-pounder? Nope. Yeah, we got the same weather pattern. That sucks. So every afternoon I gotta go back and cool off the grass. Hopes that it doesn't burn up. Get 'em, Roy. Oh, I got a clip of that. I should attach that. Good one. I, I think I showed it in our club chat. I got 105 and 103. I haven't been playing them as much that as well, Alex. They get on my nerves, bro. I did the event thing, and then I'm doing a little bit of spotting just for fun, comparing golden particles versus generic particles here. I'm on the generic particles now. We got a 105 pounder and almost a 99-pound leather though. Oh, the grain seeds. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't tried them. The game hate. Yeah. Good time to take a break from it, Alex. Yeah. Keith barely even plays comps anymore either. I have ups. I think I might have got 2 podiums last week or 1. I don't know. I haven't been playing very much though. Maybe 1 or 2 a day, or probably, I don't know, 6 or 7 a week maybe. I think I got a ghost. Is this a ghost? That's weird. Give me a big old ghost. Give me a leaderboard ghost. That's not bad. Not good either, I guess, though. What is that, a 70? 78? That's not horrible. Still a fish. Are you gonna, Alex, are you playing the trout thing? Yeah, that's a good time. Good advice, Tim. We all have to do that. It feels like it puts you in a cycle, like a horrible spin cycle where like you just get the worst RNG imaginable. And when it starts pissing you off when you're not having fun, you gotta take a break from it. Because otherwise it'll just make you hate it. It'll just make you hate it. You know what's funny? I had one of my clubmates say the same thing, Alex. Since the update, he has had no luck at all. I can't really tell. Do I still play Hit the Line Jack Comp? I was thinking I need to change the reel on Cat Boxer setup. Max Match. I used the Griffin 8000, and yes, I just took second in that the other day. I forgot to label it. Yeah, I just took second again in that the other day. And I caught a unique right at the end, or I would have took first. That one still treats me good. Yeah, I used the Griffin 8 on that. No, I think it was my buddy Tom I was trying to help him find a spot for cannonballs last night, and he was telling me he's having the worst luck. What did he play in? Oh, he played Top Notch Walleye, of all things. He played Top Notch Walleye the other day and didn't get a single unique walleye. Not one unique walleye. Yeah, he wasn't very happy. Warframe? Yeah, I haven't played that either. I think I'm gonna pre-order the GTA 6 though. I had hours and hours, years of fun on GTA 5, so I'll probably get GTA 6. Something to rotate to. November 19th, they're saying. Oh, it happened to you and you have to be pre-selected when that happens, Alex. I don't know how to explain it than that. I know people used to get mad at me when I'd say that. Road, we practiced for hours. So you're telling me I haven't caught a unique walleye either? It's the same as Size Matters. Have you played Size Matters and you're stuck in Trophy Town? You can't even get a unique? It's the same. I don't see how it's different. I've even had it happen to me once or twice in Battle of Kanik or one of those. You don't even get one unique Chinook. And you're like, okay, what was I supposed to do there? I don't even get one? Even if it's a small uni, I'll take a small uni, but to not get one uni, that's annoying. Dude, I don't think we're going to get nothing out of this. How much longer do I want? When did I spot this? This is hideous over here. I'm giving it 3 more minutes, guys. Oh, you had 3 podiums in that? And then after that, it didn't give you one. You know, oddly enough, I've played those. Well, I don't play them as much as I used to. I used to try everything in the world on those, all kinds of lures. And I only got 1 podium out of both of those. I can't remember if it was Salmon Glory or Battle Canik. I've only got 1. Those comps hate me. And the one time I did podium in it, my club mate was in the same room that I was. He took first and I took second. Yeah, I only practice just here and there as well, Tim. If there's a comp that I need work on or refreshed or something. But yeah, it's discouraging because like you practice and do really well and then you go in and you don't even get spawns. That just pisses you off even worse. Practice the same peak, the same spots, the same time, the same setup, the same lures, the same bait. Oh, God, it's annoying. Alright, finally got another one out. Let's see what it is. Alex, if you're coming back to play it all, the trout sign up here is in about 50 minutes. Just a reminder. That's the main other reason I was putting this stream up. And then once I register, I gotta go back to work. This might be a good one. Be a pig, bro. Come on, shock us with a 106 pounder on a generic. Give it to us. I hope it's fighting good. Maybe. Give us at least 103. Give us 103, please. Nope. 43 kilo, guys. That's not even 100, is it? Dude, what's the... Why do I not know this? Is it 45 kilos is 100 pounds? How do I not have that memorized? That's a 90-something, right? Well, at least we got it out of there. Alright, so far with the generics, we've got 43. That leather was decent, though. 43, 43, and a 38. Yeah, that's done. Alright, let's get the hell out of here. Go somewhere else. That seemed like a longer wait, too. Same peaks, same spots. Same setup. Alrighty. Back at it. Oi. Tried long Asia comp last week, enough to 26.5 price. You're welcome. I just want to make sure everybody remembers. I usually do a stream before it. I was gonna say too, on a side note, guys. I'll probably be streaming it a little later. Qualifiers 2 or qualifiers 1 and 2 and 3, all of them, because it starts at 1 p.m. my time, and that's about the same time I got to go back to work around 1:30 or 2ish to cool off the golf course. So, in other words, right when it starts, I have to be at work, so I'm gonna be streaming a little later, probably an hour or two later than normal. Not that it's rocket science on that one. I have to work right when all of them start. And it's about 95 to 98 degrees all week. Oh, dude. Wolf, I'm probably the last person you want to ask for help on that Rocky. I'm not really, even that year I qualified and went all the way to the final, I'm not really a good trout person in general. I think I just got lucky that year. I want to say, since you need really big rainbow trophy there in the cutthroat, I would, if it were me, or probably what I'm going to try at least, would be the 3.0, I'm probably going to do the 3.0 X series barbless, or the 3.0 Club Series spinner is probably what I'll try. Or some kind of barbless jig head with an old glory grub or something. Or maybe even the, I haven't tried it yet though. Isn't there the Club Series 2.0 narrow spin, maybe it'll count? I think it's barbless. One of those are barbless, I think. I think you're just going to need a really good fish drop and a bite rate, probably. Or the barbless, there's a barbless 1.0 spinner I might throw, I don't know yet. I'm not really looking forward to that one. That one could be bad for 2 hours. I think probably out of the qualifiers, I would probably say Q3 is probably the most fun just because you're going for the Lakers. Even though you have to use barbless stuff, I would say the Q3 is probably the most fun. Q2 can be really boring. Me, Duel, and Grizzly practiced that for about 45 minutes yesterday, and we all quit just because it was so boring. The brown trout could be really boring. That's St. Croix. Q1 should be Rocky Lake. Yeah, Q1's Rocky. Hold on, let me double check. I haven't played that in 2 years. Yeah, it's Q1. Q1's Rocky, Q2 is St. Croix, Q3 is Moose Lake. Yep. Yeah, you could pair it with that, but that's probably what I'm going to try. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I said that right. I don't know why they would have changed it. Yeah, Rocky Lake, St. Croix, and Moose Lake. I qualified there 2 years ago, but I got 3 browns, I think, and I had some really big trophies that year. This one is so boring, though. Whew. That one can be slow. That one can be slow. Really slow. It's hard to even practice for it. We couldn't make it through it. That, and there is so many blockers at St. Croix. Holy cow. Walleye and smallies and the sting salmon. The Atlantic salmon at St. Croix gets so annoying. God, those things. Alright, another underwhelming uni. Let's see if the mirror comes in. Come on, 104-pound mirror. Show us something really good on the generic. Oh, we were thinking about that yesterday, and here's another thought I had on that. I haven't figured out anything on that, but I did a few. I don't remember ever getting a trophy off the lighthouse. Has anybody ever got a trophy brown trout at St. Croix around the lighthouse? I know playing other things I've missed and got a common there, but I've never got a trophy. Somebody else might have. But I had a weird thought too. If you guys hear me out on this. We know for sure the unique catfish there, the blue cats, that we know for sure you can get 3 uniques on a rotation. And thanks to X Series Rodrigo that posted that video a long time ago, because a lot of people in the top-notch walleye struggled to get 3 unique walleye. It does make me wonder if that map breaks down weird and there's a possibility that you could get 3 unique brown trout somehow. I don't know how to do it. I'm not saying you can. I just find it odd that if you can get 3 unique walleye, I know you can get 3 unique smallmouth, and you can get 3 unique blue catfish. You would think there might be a way, if you broke down the map right, that you could get 3 unique brown trout. I don't know. But boy, that would be a lot of boring testing to figure it out. It's just a thought I had yesterday. But who knows? We'll see if the scores go up crazy and somebody's figured that very thing out. Because I think it was a few years ago, Red-Eyed Rex with Dave's group had figured out by accident, I think, that you could get one unique brown off the beach and then one off the corner of the concrete dock. But I don't know if you can get 3. Yeah, I don't know. Just had that thought that maybe. Alright, another com. That ain't bad. Ain't horrible, but ain't great either. It's 2.9 meters. Maybe I'm missing the sweet spot. Where the hell's the mirror at? Come on, the mirror usually comes in first. Why did the comment come before the mirror? You going in blind? If you need marks or something, really tell me. If not, I streamed that a couple years ago. I left in first in the Q2. But I think I was just... Me and Dave, I think, was both in the same room, too. I think Dave got 4 unique, and I got 3. But I think I had a lot of trophies, and he was struggling on trophies. I fast-forwarded through my stream the other day. Trying to figure out what the hell I was doing that year, because it's been 2 years ago. But basically, that one, Rui, I got my unique, to save yourself time if you didn't want to watch the stream, all the way to the right towards those houses at the bottom, off the beach, and then just kind of diagonal out by that buoy. Off the concrete dock is the way I got 2 uniques. And I think Dave got 4. He got 2 of his and then both respawns. And I got 1 with 1 respawn. So I had 3. But it does make me wonder if there's not a way to get 3 on a rotation. Because if people have figured out how to get 3 on a rotation in that somehow, then it's... You've gotten 2 from the beach before? So you can get 3, Harold? Have you gotten 3? So what, the top of the beach, the bottom on the right? Did you try to get it from the concrete dock as well? Because I was looking at that map yesterday. We were trying to figure out if there's a possibility. That's the only way I think you could do it, Harold, is if you got it all the way to the right towards the houses, up on the corner, but I wonder if that corner overlaps with the concrete dock because it's somewhat close, or is there some random spot by the lighthouse, some random little tile that gives you a trophy and unique over there somewhere off the lighthouse? That would be the only other thing that makes sense. Well, we'll see if if somebody gets 5 or 6 on the score, we'll know. But I don't have the time or the patience to mess with it. But it's just a thought I had. Because if you can get 2, I don't know why you can get 3. Again, not to keep beating it in the ground. If you can get 3 walleye and 3 catfish and 3 smallies, I don't know how you couldn't get 3 brown trout somehow. I just don't know how to do it. Nor do I have the time to mess with it. And I think the worst part of the trout thing is it's kind of like the boat series where you got to go for tarpon 2 days in a row. Since the Falcon Lake is the semi and the final, I always wish they'd make that. I wish they did the semi at Tiber and the final at Falcon, or vice versa, or something weird to break it up. Because you end up fishing the same lake twice at the end, which makes no sense. Well, yeah, like I said, try it, Harold. I think it's hard enough to get the uniques as it is, but like I said, I'm not saying it's a thing. It just made me think of it. Okay. Another underwhelming unique. Alright, let me see how much time do I got left. Alright, let me try that again. Alright, so let's look at our net. That was on generics. Let me record that. Alright, it's a small sample size, but it's 3 spots. I think I'm going to come back when where's the peak at? Or should I try one more spot? Let's try one more spot, I guess. Let's try the Cave Lake spot. I think I'm probably doing it for nothing. I just don't have got 30 minutes. Let's do the same rotation. Yeah, it could be. Like I said, just the scores aren't reflective of it. Because I don't, I think my thing. Let me look. Hold on. I think it's gonna glitch out because I made the final. Let me look. That would have been 2024 because we didn't have it last year. I think it's gonna glitch out for me. Does anybody know what the scores were in Q2? Because I qualified with 100 point something. I think I had 100 point something. Yeah, I can't look at it because I made the final. It's glitched out. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. We'll see if the scores go up. I think it's hard to get 2 uniques on a rotation. Hell, I only got the 1. I got the 1, and then I finally got the 1 after the spawn timer was already going to be past it, and then I got to respawn. I know, because I just fast forwarded through my stream the other day. Gonna need over 99, but yeah, there you go. That's what I was gonna say. I think on the we'll know, Jason, if they get like a 105 or 107 or something crazy, then we know they're getting 5 or 6 uniques. Am I a lot of road rages? No. Funny story is I made this a long time ago for GTA when I played GTA a bunch. It was just a name just for GTA. Yeah, I used to play GTA a lot. GTA and Battlefield 1. In other words, I didn't make this account just for Fishing Planet. I probably played more Battlefield 1 than I did GTA, but I did play a lot of Battlefield. All right, Harold. Well, we hope to see you up there with 5 or 6 uniques, buddy. We'll see how much the scores go up. I think on a different peak, maybe. I don't like that. That peak is so slow. I don't know. I haven't even played Size Matters in a long time just to see if I can get 2 in that anymore. I got lucky and got the Spinner Tail and Bass Speed Hunt, so I don't have to play Size Matters anymore. Thankfully. But yeah, you might be right. I know where you're talking about, straight off the boat dock, Harold, towards that buoy. Maybe if you get one in the corner, one off the boat dock, and one off the concrete dock, that might work. Who knows? Who knows? The odds are for my run, I'll be struggling just to get that first unique out. Breathing a sigh of relief if I get it out and have a respawn. Oh, that qualifier's hideous. Yeah, you might have to, Harold. We know enough people do. That's a tough subject. I'm like, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. It's a tough subject to hop in. It does get annoying. You could argue both sides. I'll argue both sides. One side of it is if you practice and you know what the hell you're doing and you're not getting spawns, it's hard to blame somebody when they hop and they can tell they're dead laked and they're just trying to get an active lake. But on the other end of it, if people's figured out how to do it maliciously where they can target which room to be in and that sort of thing and pause and server hop just to get the best room or the best RNG, that does take the fun out of it on the other end of it. So it's one of those argue both ways. The problem is even like let's say I've mentioned earlier I don't fish the ocean much just because the game crashes all the time. If they incorporated something to where you lose connection, you can't re-enter a comp or a given tournament, like let's say I'll just throw Marlin Tug of War or any of the new ocean comps. If you're in the comp and your game just crashes for whatever reason or glitches out, you have to have the ability to reset, so it's probably a tough thing for them to solve. But I don't know. Like I said, if it were me, just in the daily comps, the qualifiers, run them just like you do the semis. At least you haven't taken a time hit or there's no pause timing. So if you're going to server hop till you go blind, basically, just saying it in a comical manner. Not that I want anybody going blind, but you get my point. If you're going to be able to just server hop constantly and pause, you should have some kind of time penalty, at least. Because there's going to be times that your game could crash or whatever, and then your run's over because the game malfunctioned. So you have to have the ability to get back into the deal, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's something they'll ever be able to solve. Preferably, they could work on the RNG system itself where it felt equal and it didn't feel like you're in a lucky room or a bad room. That would be great. If all rooms seemed like they work the same, that would be fabulous. All right, another, what is that? An 80-pound leather? What is this? Maybe. Yup. Oh, I know what you're saying. Bloody threat. There's so many. Yep. I know. Yeah. There's so many comps you can name that you just get shafted in where you know it's like, I shouldn't be doing this bad. Especially if you look up at the leaderboard and the guy's got 5 times your score. It's not very fun. Especially if it's something you put time and practice in. I would agree. That isn't bad. That's almost 100 pounds. That's not horrible. Still not a 47 kilo though. Is that 100 pounds or no? Is that just under 100? Hold on, let me record that. 1, 2, 3. Alright, there we go. Alright, how much time do I got before I register? I got 20 minutes. Alright, I'm going to leave and maybe do 1 or 2 more spots tops. I'm going to go back 1/3 just to give it another good sample size. 44.8 kilos. Is that even... Is that I don't think it's 100 pounds, is it? It's close. Alright, we're doing the same test one more time. 1 or 2 more spots, and then I'm going to have to call it and register for that thing. Oh, hold on. Let me clear this real quick. Go, go, go. Make sure I'm not out of... Alright, we got carp arrival. We're probably getting low on particles. Are we out of particles? Oh, I'm not out of... Hold on. Come on, bro. Go, go, go. Vámonos. $99 to $97. Okay, I didn't think it was 100. Like I said, I tested quite a bit of this what I could before I put that video up, but I just wanted to let this play out live stream, and then you guys can draw your own conclusions and do your own tests. Do your own tests. As always. Alright, let's get one of those. I had a carp rival. What did I need, knucklehead? Feeder. Come on, bro. Damn. Getting slow. Alright, I need CSL for sure, but we'll get one of each of the others. Alright, we're back at it. 2 more spots tops, guys, and then I gotta register for that comp and go back to work. Alright, here we go. Going back in the same room with Rui and Wolf. Or Rui, I think's in there. Wolf, you've been awful quiet. How'd the Topwater Rodeo go for you? Did you slay it? Wolf, did you hit 1200 in the Topwater Rodeo? Alright, back to 1 o'clock. Same peak, same everything. There we go. Alright, that's 4 spots. We're going to do a 5th spot, maybe a 6th. And I gotta be... No! Dude, am I going to have to waste a Bitcoin? I don't want to. Alright, hold on, guys. I'm not wasting Bitcoin under the risk game credits. Needed to be on day 2, you moron. And that's exactly why I only spot an hour and a half, 2 hours a week. Kind of make you loopy if you spot. You guys ever sit and spotted too much? Or you lose all sight of reality? Oh. Alright. Triangle. We're going back. Oh, great. I have to repair my net. There's 60,000 gone. Holy. Gonna go broke. Alright, here we go. We're going back in there. Where's Rui at? There's Rui. Alright, day 2, genius. Right there. Okay, we got it right this time, right? There we go. Alright, sorry guys. I've been up since 3:45. Let's get this. Alright, generic Thundercarp, here we go. Well, we hit the 100 pounder. I was really hoping we'd hit it like 103, 104, but 4 spots in, we're not there yet. Alright guys, we're feeling lucky. Is this going to be the one we get a 100 pounder on? Come on, I want to really see a 103 pounder at least. This is 5 spots. And I'm pretty sure I got 300 plus pounders with golden particles on 7 spots. So by now I should have had a 100 pounder, you'd think. The only thing that changed was the particles. Everything else was the same. Setup, spots, peak, baits. Willow comp today? No, I was testing out generic particles versus golden particles live stream. Just as another small sample size here to see. People can test out stuff. On Xbox, Q2 was 106 pounds and biggest fish was 14. 100. Yeah, I couldn't see on ours. I think it is possible that they could get 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't really know. We'll find out Tuesday or Wednesday. All right, show us at least a 100 pounder. Show us the 100 pounder. Well, yeah, like I said, really, I don't know if you've tested, and like I said, just have to keep doing testing. It's still early on, but my conclusion so far is golden particles seem to give a little bit more of an enhancement, and I'll save this stream on my thing, so if anybody wants to argue with it, you can rewind and fast forward and just observe everything I did. There's no editing in it. It's exactly what I did. I did it live. Again, spend your bait coins at your own discretion. Number one thing is, I think it's paramount that everybody gets along and has fun, because we don't want oversize to be taken away again. We know that. What would Weeping Willow be if you couldn't catch a 100-pound carp, guys? It just wouldn't be the same. Willow was not fun without the oversize, was it? Not really. You did 4 spots with gold and you capped out at... I don't know, really. I don't know. Maybe I'm just lucky. I was trying to explain that to Essex in my group chat there. But he did get a 104 pounder the other day when he did it. He hadn't even... My buddy Essex really didn't even have a 100 pounder at all. And then I showed him the exact thing I'm doing now, and he got 104, so I don't know. I don't know. Maybe do my exact mix and do your exact mix. I don't know. I don't know why it would matter. I really don't. And anybody that likes Super Dave's Viagra mix, I don't know why you wouldn't just try putting in golden particles in Super Dave's mix and just balance it. Optimize it. I don't know why it wouldn't work. I could test it sometime, but it's just difference of Sweet Crucian, Tutti Frutti, and I can't remember what else he used. Was it Sweet Crucian, Tutti Frutti, and CSL or X flavor? I can't remember. Unless Thunder Carp's just that strong, boys. It might just be that strong. Remember, I got the patent on the Thunder Carp. Road Warriors patent and Thunder Carp. Guaranteed 105, 106 pounders. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. You could strike out and get a 75 pounder. I do. Uh, I did the 4,500 gram mix. I still got 105 pounders, but I'm pretty sure I got the 106 pounder on the. Yeah, for a fact. I'd have to go back and look. I'm almost 100% sure on the 3,600. I just don't know why you'd throw a 4,500 pound or 4,500 gram mix if you can get big ones on a 3,600 to save yourself time. I don't know why you'd want to go a bigger one. Not as far as time saver, but maybe. I don't know. Comes with a money back guarantee. That looks to be like, what, a 73-ish, maybe? 35 times 2.205, I have no idea. Not doing a quick math. It's not looking good. Come on, mirror. Caught a bunch of you, yeah. No, like that generic Thundercarp's is fine, I think. And I think Dave's got a great, whatever that, I can't remember what he calls it, Super Viagra. His is a good mix. I just like like I said, I like Giant Octo X flavor and CSL better than the others. But Rui, have you tried using like Sweet Crucian Toot Fruity and CSL, or Sweet Crucian Molasses and CSL, or do all like fruity, like sunny aromas? Hey, City Dog, what's up, Lenny? It's not looking good for me on the generic test. Only 5 spots though. I don't think I have the energy to do another 5, or even another 2, to be honest, or the time. Your mixes with all the fruity stuff. Well, yeah, it makes sense to match it up. Like I said, I think I just love the all seasons, not to keep grinding in the ground. It sometimes could be a little slower, but it still, for me, always works. And the majority of the time, I can catch them in the rain and at night too. So, on occasion, if I play, what is that one I've been messing around with? But I've won big head hunters so many times with Thundercarp, even though it's a sunny day. I've won that so many times, but I've been trying to play around with some fruitier mixes there. I think Tutti Frutti, CSL. And it's still working in the rain for you? Yeah, who knows? Like I said, they've reworked the system, so who knows exactly what's what. I think we could sit and debate it for days and weeks and months, and you still have the RNG factor of the game as well. There's still RNG. Just random numbers being thrown out. What can you do to influence it? Just when you think you figure something out, you might not have. Who knows? Come on, show me that 104. Be there. Give us 104. A spicy one. I've had a little success with the, what's that other aroma? Spicy Bream. I've done alright with that. Substituting out a CSL. There's a decent one. There's a 100 pounder finally. That's 100 pounds, right? That was our 5th spawn. Maybe we doubled. We doubled. Thundercarp. Padoop, padoop, boop. That's a generic Thundercarp. Get down there, Rui. What are you mixing together, sir? Woo. Get on. All right. Let me look at that net again. All right. So out of 5, oh, I can't look now. My net's gone. I didn't end up getting one. I'll save that little bit on it. If I clip it together. I think it makes more sense just to put this in my... Maybe I'll label it label the Weeping Willow generics versus golden test stream. Just put it on my card playlist. I don't know, or I can clip it. Well, no, like I'm saying, I'm not saying you can't get a 105 and 106 pounder just naturally with a generic. From the testing that I've done and conclusion of this stream, it feels like I have better luck with the golden particles. It just feels that way. Some might find other variances. I don't know. But if you compare on this stream, the 7 spots I did, I think, around 7 or 8, somewhere in there, versus these 5, it's hard to argue that my fish weren't bigger on this 2-hour stream. Yes or no? Too good. But again, if a guy's got time to sit and do it, you could do 12 hours of it. We should do a 12-hour stream testing it. We'll do 6 hours generic and 6 hours golden, and you guys can keep all the math on it. I'm kidding, guys. I can't spot for 12 hours straight. I'd be put in a insane asylum. Maybe a winter project. The good news is we got oversized carp back. So it makes Willow enjoyable again. As well as catfish and everything else we can spot for. All 17 ounce. All right, guys, let's see here. We got to sign up. Do not forget to sign up for that. It is up, and we are registered at lucky number 14, I think, or maybe it was 16. We don't know. All right, guys, do not forget to register for this if you guys plan on playing. I am officially signed up for the trout thing. On a side note, why would I buy that? Why would I buy that game? I'm not. What is up with that? Fishing Planet. What are you doing? What are you doing, sir? All right, guys, do not forget to sign up for that. In conclusion there, I will say that, like I said, test that all stuff out, but I'm just going to leave this up on the channel. You guys can test that. That is generic mix there. 17, we'll see. We'll see who has the better luck, Roy. I hope you do, buddy. I made this final a couple years ago, and I'd be honest, if I don't make the semifinal, it really doesn't matter to me because the semifinal is on the 4th of July. Not ideal. Not ideal. With that being said, I wish you guys the best of luck, but as you can see there, hold on a second, let me change that back. All right, so that's the generic mix there. What I threw, let me see real quick here. Let me get this fixed so I don't forget. Whoop, won't let me look. Come on, bro. What are you doing? All right, let's take that back up to around 800, so I got room. Come back down here. Take this down to, what was that, 120? Take this to 120. For me personally, at least, that's what I'm going to do. Thank you, Wolf. But like I said, you guys always test stuff for yourself. Now I'm going to put the golden hemp back in, and that's the 2 comparisons I did for myself and you. Again, test all this stuff out. Okay, so I'm taking that right back. If you guys didn't know how to do that, I'm right back to 120 on those. Since I knew I had 360 to work with, if you follow along with what I'm saying, then go back up. I know that goes to 300. To save yourself the absolute agony, ooh, be careful, I almost messed that up. That'll erase your whole thing. So knowing that this was at 300, I'm going to take it down close to 300, make sure I don't erase it on accident by misclicking. Then you have to do everything all over again. Whoop, see, I almost messed that up. I'm going to go to 302. Okay, I'm close. I'm not quite there. Pretty close, though. So let's take it down to 300. It's back to 3,600. There's the golden mix. My Thunder Carp 3,600. In the event you like throwing a bigger mix, again, experiment with all that yourself. Here's a 4,500 sized mix, guys. Same thing. I just put, basically, if you look at that, I just added 450 grams of Big Riverine Bremer. That's the only difference in those two mixes. There's a 4,500 size mix. From there, experiment on your own. You like fruity aromas, use them. Can you save your rods with templates? If you can show you how. Yeah, hold on one second. Yeah, 1 second, I can show you. But anyway, guys, if you look at that, just, that's all you got to do. If you want a bigger mix, here's my Thunder. No, where is my flaccid? Do I got a metric flaccid? Yeah, I do, but I don't have a. I don't know why I would even use a bigger mix like that. There's a really big. Oh, that still doesn't have. Who knows what I've done, bro? See, that's my old. There's my original like flaccid. And see, that's not even optimized. But I think you guys get the point. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'll show you real quick, and then I gotta go, guys. But anyway, we got a 105 pounder and a PB leather today, boys. PB leather. I got a video on somewhere, John, but I'll show you briefly here real quick, buddy. And thank you, Wolf. Hold on a second here. I don't know if I got an empty slot, bro. I got like 120 tackle templates, but I'll try to show you. Hold on. I did put a video up on that a long time ago. Hold on. Okay, let's say you got an empty slot there, right? And is there one I can erase? Oh, I got an empty slot. Hold on a second. Okay, so you got an empty slot over here, John, right? Let's say something common as a jig winner. So come over here, go to your spinning rods. Oh, I'm in metric. That's going to suck. I hate metric, bro. I'm in metric. It's going to be a loss. What's the jig winner called metric? Is that the big jig winner? All right, let's just say, I think that's the, is that the bigger jig winner? Yeah, that's the bigger jig winner. All right, so that would be kilos, 11 kilos. That's going to be tough. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so then you go to your spinning reels. I know that's a Bremer. I don't know what the hell they call it in metric. Yep, Bremer 4500. Now this is going to be the trick because I need braid. What size braid is that? 6? Yeah, 6. Okay, so that's a perfect balance right there. Okay, so I got that on there. That's a perfect balance setup, jig winner if you're lower level. So 6 kilograms, 6 kilograms, 6 kilograms if you're following along or close to. Then all you'd want to do is put on any given lure. Let's say clover spin. Once you have that saved, come over here to your templates. And then all you have to do is save it. Saving template. Once you do that, then all you need to do is hit square, at least on PlayStation. Clear it out. And we'll put jig on it. We got the jig on there. Now the cool thing about that is if you want to, oh, I don't want to lose all my hooks. Let's, the cool thing is, like if you're doing bottom rods, then all you can do from there, John, if you've seen how I did that, then the cool part is if you got multiple rods, then you can sit and do that. Okay, so I don't know why I'd use 3. I don't know if I got 3. Yeah, I do. See that's where the time saver comes in, especially if you're doing bottom rods. Same thing there. Once you get your thing saved, let's say I'm going to go do some catfishing. Boom. Now we're catfishing. And look how quick that is. Now you will run out of leaders. In that case, I'm out of a leader, so I'm screwed. But let's just say I'm going to put some floats on. Let's say I want to go fish for some small fish. Got that. Hell yeah. We're coming back. We want our spod rod back on. Our spod rod's already in a template. Boom. And we're going to slay some carp at the same time. You're welcome, John. But yeah, that'll be a time saver. But if ever glitches out and seems like you're missing something, more times than not that you're going to be missing a leader. If you're missing something, it's either a leader or a line. But yeah, it's a big time saver. So, but I appreciate you guys tuning in, and good luck to everybody out there. Again, tomorrow, guys, I'm going to have to water around the same time this thing starts, so I'm probably going to be an hour and a half to 2 hours late, give or take. This thing starts at 1 o'clock for me, or 1300, and that's about the time that I have to go back on water. So with that being said, my qualifiers will be a little late tomorrow, guys. Probably an hour to 2 hours late before I start on them. But good luck to everybody. Hopefully you guys kick some trout butt. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I'll probably save this up and maybe put another little clip up on that. But again, you guys test those gold mixes on for yourself. But again, let's see here one more time. Just in that little bit of time, let's see if anybody passed me. Maybe. All right, we already got a really tough fish to beat for the week. There and the leather. But we got a 105 pounder, guys. 105 pounder right there on live stream. So good luck to everybody, and hopefully you guys catch some big carp. And we'll see you guys again in the next one. Take care, everybody. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like, guys, if this helps you out now or in the future. Good luck to everybody, and we'll see you guys again in the next one.